She had joined a live with a panel of black women and had been incredibly microaggressive against them. The organizer of the pack had been microaggressive to black women on a TikTok live, and
racist microaggressions.
Yeah.
What was the actual microaggression? We don't know.
I believe what perpetuated the microaggressions on that TikTok live had gone on to a TikTok live and been microaggressive against black women in that space. It is a fact that she was microaggressive against black women in that space that has led to this decision as well. I think led her to being microaggressive against those black women is an absolute lack of an ability to hold herself accountable. And essentially, on top of being microaggressive to those black women, she's simply bad at her job.
She should have done the macroaggressions. Maybe that's the problem. Okay. So Dean Withers, for those of you who don't know, is one of these like very young, sort of Zoomer liberal. He's part of this umbrella group of young liberal, quite woke, snarky debate bro kind of types. Like quite good debater, seems quite clever. Also seems quite snarky. He's got a bit of snark. It's usually like there's him, there's Parker, there's there's the Harry guy, but he got disowned because he was texting a bunch of girls, but telling some of them that he didn't have a roster, even though he obviously had a roster. And I think he maybe had a girlfriend at one point. I don't even remember what the. And we also had, what else did we have? What else did we have? Oh yeah, there's, I guess Adam Mockler, is he part of this group as well? In any case, these guys seem all right. They're not really my style to watch, although the debates are quite funny sometimes. Mostly what they do is like they debate MAGA people on TikTok. But I have noticed that every now and then these guys kind of like go a little bit circular firing squad, especially over like hyper woke or like stupid shit. So like that, disowning that Harry guy for, people try to downplay by saying, oh, they disowned this person for being a player, but it seems like the Harry guy actually was a player, and that's why they disowned him. They just like completely f***ed him off. But Adam Mockler, not related. No. I didn't think he was like, he's just a Zoomer lib, right? He's not part of the debate bro sphere of these guys are. But apparently he got in trouble from the Unfuck America tour, and it's to do with, I think, black people and microaggressions. So.
And this relates to myself, this relates to Parker, and this relates to the organizer of the tour, Z. So first and foremost, I think it's worth kind of going over like why we're talking about this. So I say we start there. For those that don't know, because I'm going to go ahead and assume that there's a lot of people in this live that don't know, the organizer of the Unfuck America tour, her name is Z, and I want to say maybe 2 or 3 days before we...
Oh, sorry, just another PSA. Again, if you're going to ban people for denial, it's like you need to make sure that you actually know how the denial works. I'm just saying, like, I don't know why Emboman is suggesting that just because that if you have the irrefutable evidence of being raped is that you've got intestinal injury. Do you think that rape is the only way that you can injure someone's intestines? What the what are we doing? I don't even know the details of this story, apart from like what people spread around Twitter and like that, but okay. All right.
Inevitably went boots on the ground in Texas. Z had joined a live with a panel of black women and had been incredibly microaggressive against them. This was then recorded and word got around. And in fact, I knew that she was on a panel and had gone to while it was happening, but it wasn't until the next day that I had learned exactly what she had done. And at that point, we were 2 days out from boots on the ground in Texas. And if we reflect on the last week, you all know that I ended up going to Texas, and I have not spoken about this on my live stream until now. So my first order of business is apologizing to the individuals that are watching this stream, that are a member of the BIPOC community, for not speaking out about this sooner. Over the course of the last, I want to say 5 to 6 to 7 days since this, there's been a lot of thoughts that have been going around in my head insofar as how I want to navigate through this and what I want to achieve and what I want the future to look like. But I think one really big mistake I've made, one really bad thing I've done, something I need to hold myself accountable for, was not calling this out before we went boots on the ground in Texas. And at the time, and my internal justification was that, well, I have fans across the country that have already bought their plane tickets to go to Texas, and they're going to be there, and I want to make sure that I'm there for them. And in retrospect, I recognize that I did not handle the situation correctly, and that on its own was not valid. What I should have done in response, everybody's asking what has happened, so we'll go ahead and reiterate what happened, was that Z, the organizer of the pack, had been microaggressive to black women on a TikTok live, and
Racist microaggressions, yeah.
Yeah, and essentially, like, I was complacent with it, in insofar as the impact of my actions, because I still went on the trip, right? And my justification at the time was, well, a lot of fans have already bought their tickets, so I want to make sure that I could be there for them. And at that time, it was requested that Z doesn't go live or doesn't make posts with her face on any of the accounts, so she's not personally benefiting off of any of the attention that the tour gets. Z is once again the organizer of the pack that went on this live, but I now recognize that I could have leveraged my influence and could have basically said that either she holds herself accountable and we see genuine progress, or I'm not going to go. And the likely response would have from the pack would have been, damn, all right, she's either going to hold herself accountable or we're going to kick her off, and we'd still love you to come with. And I didn't do that. I didn't do that, and I apologize. I think it's really, really important for everybody to hold themselves to a certain degree of accountability.
The biggest crime of this guy is being a bald eunuch about the Harris situation. I look forward to his career evaporating.
Holy
face
shit.
with monocle emoji.
Thanks to the
face emoji.
Thanks to $10, TV.
Something that they shouldn't have, especially people in the public spotlight, like myself, like Parker, etc. Especially white men, right? So I seriously, I want to apologize for that. Now,
what was the actual microaggression? We don't know. People in chat are trying to tell me by poisoning the well. I'm going to find out from this video.
Since those events have transpired, and now of course I'm back in Colorado, for the last couple days, I've been determining how we want to navigate through this and what the next move is. And here's what we've come to the conclusion of. Today, me, Parker, Santana, and a bunch of other people that are going to be joining the live here shortly, we were able to get 30 creators, every single creator that
we can't watch
tour,
this on its own, guys.
call.
We can't watch this alone.
And we came to the conclusion that we will not be continuing this tour
like this.
Under the organization of Z.
Yeah,
So
let's go.
Z from the position of being the organizer of the pack, supporting the tour, or the tour leaves the pack. And this decision has been made, yes, because she was microaggressive against black women on that TikTok live, but also because she's just simply not an effective leader. And I believe what perpetuated the microaggressions on that TikTok live was just a lack of ability to hold herself accountable when she f***ed up. And we've now seen this lack of an ability to hold herself accountable when she f***ed up, not just projected on the black women on that live, but also onto many creators involved with the pack.
Why? There's surely I can widescreen this, right? This is
no
annoying
longer
as
be
fuck.
working with her, essentially.
I'm gonna die.
I'd also like to point out there is another creator live on
that.
TikTok right now that is talking about all of this and holding a panel for criticism. First and foremost, all constructive criticism is always invited. Constructive criticism is what got me from being the boy I was 5 years ago.
I got some constructive criticism. Stop being a cuck.
Just
stop yourself.
Don't know what's going on. So essentially, the Democrats aren't winning the next 2 elections.
Thanks for the 40 shekels. That's my advice. Constructive criticism. Stop bending over backwards for these toxic who will just always use their arbitrary standards to have power over you because they like it, because it makes them happy. Because they don't give a fuck about actually advancing any political goals. They don't give a fuck about achieving anything. All they care about is just weaponizing these concepts against you to use your guilt so they can get their way when they're not happy. That's it. I don't even know what he did. I'm just assuming that's it. Stop being a cuck. That's my advice, okay? Hopefully this is over nothing. Otherwise, I'll feel stupid. Stop being a cuck. Skill issue.
The man I am today, and it's really important. But this live is not a reaction or reactionary to this other creator's live. And I, as well as Parker, as well as all of the creators that we will have in this space, can attest to the fact that we have been figuring out how we want to move forward and what this live is going to look like since before this other creator went live. It just so happened that they aligned simultaneously. So anyways, Parker, if there's anything that you want to add on at this point, feel free, and I'll probably have some thoughts as well.
Yeah, something I definitely wanted to add on top is that like I'm happy that people can call me out, and I really want people to call me out.
Lion.
And I want people in my community and in Dean's community to feel more comfortable with calling us out when we do things that are wrong, because what we did definitely was wrong. We definitely should have addressed it earlier. That is something that needs to be taken accountability from, and I don't want our communities to like just defend us in any circumstance, right? Even when it's obvious that we did something wrong. So I want to make it clear that like it's important to take accountability. It's important.
So far this sounds like the way someone conducted themselves over a group call. Oh, okay.
And to address things, I think that's a really important thing to do. And I definitely think it's something that we could have leveraged to get like addressed earlier. And I think that's what we should have done.
Yeah, and I guess like being willing to put yourself in uncomfortable situations and make a sacrifice to hold red lines against things such as racism is really is incredibly important because what it demonstrates is a want to consciously deconstruct like systems of oppression in America today, and I didn't do that, and that was wrong, and I should have, and I apologize.
I apologize as well. And I definitely think that, like, again, everyone, we genuinely invite the criticism. We invite people critiquing us, and it's really important.
Yeah, listen, I believe you, okay? But no, f off. Stop trying to sway my opinion. Stop it. If anyone has the clip that contains the microaggression, or I'm guessing it's like a pattern of behavior, right? We'll see.
And we just want to say that we appreciate people calling us out and holding us accountable, because I think it's really important. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off, Dean.
And then just to kind of reiterate for everybody new that's coming in, asking what had happened,
yes,
I'm going to go ahead and kind of reiterate like a couple of like the main key points.
Hey.
So
trigger warning.
And then we're going to have a couple other people up on the panel, and then we're going to kind of shift the conversation of what's to come, right? So basically what happened, the organizer of the pack, their name is Z.
Okay.
Z, 2 or 3 days before we went boots on the ground in Texas, had gone on to a TikTok live and been microaggressive against black women in that space.
Oh.
And I learned about this the day after it occurred. Of course, when she was on the live, I knew she was on a live, and I knew that it was bad. I didn't know exactly what had been said because I was at dinner with my grandparents. But when I did learn about this, I then didn't take further movement before I went boots on the ground to basically leverage my position as a larger influence on this platform to either say, I'm not going to go.
Oh, yeah. In your life, by the way, if you're dealing with anyone who is like to the left of fucking Keir Starmer at this point, okay, it's a lot. If anyone ever says like, oh, yeah, we got problem with X person because they did this thing, and they use like a slightly broad term or like a loaded term, like they did a microaggression, or they were being racist, or they were being they were engaging in denialism, they were supporting X, Y. Always just ask for specifics, because the amount of times in my life where I have to fucking hear people accuse like one person or the other of this thing, and then I'm like, okay, just tell me like step by step what actually happened without using any of these words, and it's like, oh, it was nothing happened. Okay, yeah, nothing happened. But yeah,
we see a genuine sense of accountability, or she steps down.
Not always.
Because I rather thought to myself. I rather thought to myself that individuals have already bought their plane tickets to show up. And yeah, anyways, that was something wrong that I did. And now, to kind of reiterate what is to come, me, Parker, as well as every other creator that have went on the trip, have now met.
Like a valid thing. So microaggressions are real, right? And they are very intentional at times. So if someone came into a TikTok call and just spent the next fucking hour like intentionally like aggravating like a black woman on the call, and then every time she kind of like responds to those aggravating fucking prompts, you just sit back and say, "Listen, hey, why are you getting so uppity? Why are you being so aggressive? Come on, why are you being so why are you being so pissed? Why are you being such an uppity lady right now?" Like that obviously is a microaggression, right? Like, and that would be a problem. If it was, especially if it was like a pattern of behavior, right? But you know, sometimes there's like a group of 3 people, and like 2 of them are black, and they're being, and like 2, and all 3 of them are being stupid, and you're like, what the fuck's wrong with you people? Why are you saying this? Then it's like, oh, you people, and then obviously that's stupid, right? Yeah. So, or like if you get heated in a debate and someone's asking you very obtusely like who was responsible for Jews leaving the Middle East, and they just go, it was the Arabs, right? And then you clip that into exposed. That would be an example of pretending you've seen a microaggression when actually you're just being toxic and stupid. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
This was earlier today, and we've come to the unanimous decision that we will no longer be working with Z. The first order of business is requesting Z to step down as the organizer of the pack and invite a new organizer to further the Unfuck America tour, or we just completely leave the pack behind. To reiterate that it is a fact that she was microaggressive against black women in that space that has led to this decision, as well as the fact that we just simply do not think she's an effective leader. And then once again, just to reiterate, what I think led her to being microaggressive against those black women is an absolute lack of an ability to hold herself accountable, and then she projects that on the people around her.
Shit.
And this was present in that live, as well as interpersonally with the creators. And essentially, on top of being microaggressive to those black women, she's simply bad at her job. But yeah, let's kind of talk about what's to come, what the next steps are, and the overall goal of the tour. And for that, I think it's important that we kind of bring up a handful of people that were on the tour onto this live. So at this point in time, we're going to go ahead and get a handful of people up here.
Are you going to do the grid?
Yeah. So
I think you can do the thing where you can do like, I think it's 4, and then you are kind of like halfway big. So it still keeps you like relatively big.
Don't throw. I would never throw.
I mean, let's see if we fill the
What are you
boxes
talking
up with like the people that we spoke to that said they'd like to come up. It's just glitching out for me, and I'm having a hard time actually clicking on individuals. Welcome in, Santana.
Hello, hello.
And then I'd also just like to reiterate one more time for everybody new coming in here that this live is not reactionary to the other creator who's hosting a live about this right now. In fact, oh, Erica,
you have echo.
And that this live is not reactionary to another creator who's on here talking about this all. In fact, we've been kind of planning this out, and we've been meeting about this space since...
Buying into the breed. Thanks for the $10. We appreciate that.
Before they started their live. Give us one moment, everybody. Welcome in, Pickles. And Mermaid. All right, welcome in, everybody. Mermaid. All right, phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, I feel like we have kind of gone over, you know, where we are going to be going from here, insofar as departing from Z, the main organizer of the tour, which either means she steps down as the organizer of the pack backing the tour, and we find a new, better organizer, or we just simply digress from, you know, that specific pack. And yeah, we plan to hopefully be able to get other individuals up here from the tour as well. But we're just kind of starting off with a conversation with Parker, Santana, Erica, Pickles, and Mermaid. So, I mean, if you guys want to hop in here and kind of lead the conversation, I did see a text from you, Santana.
Okay, are they ever actually going to describe what exactly happened? Is there any dissent, or... Maybe I've got it, actually. You sent the original conflict. Okay. Okay. Maybe I should watch that first. All right, cannibalize. You have to watch the live. Okay, let's check this one.
Wait, stop pacing.
So this is where the person joins the call. Is that what you're telling me? Fuck! All right, let's see.
There you go.
Oh my God.
This is the context, apparently. Okay.
It's great. It's great to see that the left is finally coming together.
Hey, I wasn't done speaking. I apologize.
This is another white tea.
I want to make sure. No, Z, I want to hear from them. This is their campaign. This is their thing. I would love to hear from you, Z, but I was in the middle of speaking, and I'm actually going to put myself back on big screen, so there's no confusion.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
about
Z comes
that.
in here.
All right.
Is that
So
right?
just to clarify once again, want y'all to come up here, speak your piece and everything and all that, right? We'll try to be as respectful and everything. And I'm really not liking the fact that in the comments, it's like suddenly you guys forgot why we are having this conversation. It's not the fact that this is going to be hosted. It's whether it's going to be a net negative or whether it's going to be quote unquote harmful or more positive. That is the entire point of the conversation. We're not saying don't have it. We're not saying don't have the tour. We're not saying that we disagree with the tour. Right. I think it's great. I think it's going to be funny. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some great things that are going to be talked about. But the conversation is also about how marginalized people are going to possibly experience, like what they're going to experience after the tour, or what's actually going to be happening during the tour. You guys aren't actually listening to us, and that is the issue.
The fact that these two white boys are the headliners.
You guys are putting words in our mouth when we've been very clear and particular about what we've been trying to say.
But when you say,
I wasn't talking about you.
Y'all will fucking holler. Shut up.
I wasn't talking about you, Z. I was just saying other people in the comments. I don't think you said shit about like me or anything.
Sorry, I think it's happening again where when we say these two white boys at the front, people's cognitive dissonance goes, I don't know what you're saying.
Right, they make it seem like we're talking shit about them. Exactly.
They genuinely think that like why are you talking? We're not talking to you.
Can you pretend?
Like Shane's been quiet this entire time. I don't understand why you can't do the same.
Okay.
Yeah, and Shane. Yeah. Shane, technically, Z, before you go, Shane has been here first, so I would love to hear from them.
I do not mind waiting. I do not mind waiting because I would rather let it marinate.
I thought that was irrelevant talking. Okay, so Z's trying to butt in here. It seems. Someone said something about two white dudes headlining. I guess that's Dean and Parker, and some people have an issue with that. I guess. Okay. And yeah, the Z person is trying to get in. Someone else was going to go first, but he's yielding his time. Okay. He's yielding his time to Z. All right.
Would like to say something to speak on things as well, but I also know the space I'm in. I am a white man, so let me know when it's good to clear. I'm going to put it on mute. And please, Z, if you want to say something to address this, because I think it's important. Or me? Okay, I'm allowed to talk.
When I let her speak.
Okay. I just want to make sure I follow the rules, because like for real, I want to be cognizant of the space that I'm in, because I'm still a white individual, and appreciate even giving me a moment to speak.
You don't have to do that. Just jump right in. Yeah, Shane, I promise you.
Listen, no, you gotta set example.
Bro, as an ethnic minority, if someone ever spoke to me like this and they were like, "Oh, me as a white individual, I really appreciate you," fucking hell, I would just like, no, what the fuck, man? It's like that's a microaggression. Holy fuck.
Examples. No, hell no. Don't tell me I don't have to do that, because you have to set examples for the other white motherfuckers that don't know what's up. Because for real. Listen, okay. Z, I want to actually, I didn't know you were going to even come up here, but I now just want to say something just in terms of the harm. I host a podcast with a black trans woman. And simultaneously, I have to be aware as a producer of the difference experience that she has and the harm that she experiences when I create these episodes, and even in the hate comments and everything that I do not experience because I am white, male, passing, presenting, etc., etc., etc. Blossom, my co-host, experiences extreme harm. So I think what I've heard so far on the panel, and what I've kind of seen so much, and I'm going to be as quick as possible, the Unfuck tour to me feels really inauthentic. I think it started out as a great idea, maybe for two guys personally to do something, and then they might have received some backlash, and they're like, okay, let's last minute add some folks of color because now we got to diversify it. And that's kind of what it feels like to me. It feels not planned out. It feels like
you're wrong.
No, hold on. But before, I'll give you plenty of time. And I'm sure there's a lot of information I don't know, and I will always acknowledge that, because that's just what we're being presented on the internet too. You have to also acknowledge that's what we're all consuming from what's being put out, especially by Dean and Parker. I experienced Dean and Parker on the set personally with Julie, and I had issues with that alone in the way that they took up space, especially when there was a lot of women that were there that wanted to talk on women's issues, but these two wanted to fight for the chair so hard, and I will always be very uncomfortable with that, because a lot of people flew from different states, and these two gentlemen were, you can even see them sliding on camera for Jubilee, taking away time and space when they had a platform. They could have just had their one moment and moved on and let those other folks speak. So I've seen Dean and Parker not only do that, but go on lives talking about.
So for Jubilee, when people have to literally fucking jump on top of each other and slide into the chair and do a little Pyleon. What? Okay. Someone get Zerka in there. But this isn't about Jubilee. This is about a tour that's being put on with Dean and Parker as the headliners, because I guess it's like their thing on Fuck America, because they're like the big names. Okay.
Trans issues, saying incorrect things, saying they know a trans person. When I shook their hand on set, I have no clue who these gentlemen are, and it was a really weird live that I watched, and I was really uncomfortable them using my name while simultaneously like saying incorrect information about trans people. So I can only imagine the harm that anybody of color, especially Black women like Julianne experienced. I don't know her full story. We actually did a podcast together, self-promotion, sorry, shameless.
Oh shit.
And her story is really important to actually learn about how the effects of everything that happened to her and the platform that she has, why she does it, what she's trying to do, because yes, Dean and Parker have done some stuff and they've made some waves.
It's fucking
and I will
spellcaster,
give them
man.
flowers for that. I will acknowledge that, but at the same time, you know, I've gone on debate lives and I've noticed this toxic kind of pissing contest that they've now created of this, like, let's get information and data and da-da-da-da-da. And there's not this real human connection. And the people like myself, who is a minority, and folks that have color and so many different folks that are...
Would you do a Jubilee with 25 pro pallies? Only if I could do a follow-up with 25 pro fucking settlers or some shit. Yeah. And all at once, so it's actually me against 50.
Actually marginalized. The conversation's no longer really about changing people. It's about a pissing contest of who can slam dunk on each other and who can get the most Venmos from this person and that person. And I'm sorry, like, that to me has not done what it is being promoted to be doing. I'm watching this toxic rhetoric form in so many shape or ways on TikTok lives. And there's no real consequences in the same way that I see Charlie Kirk talk about these issues. Dean and Parker will never experience what it's like to be trans. They'll never experience what it's like to be Black. And when they're constantly speaking on those issues, it makes myself very uncomfortable. It makes a lot of people very uncomfortable because they're never
Okay, so far the most toxic person in the call is this person. This person's a fucking moron. But okay. We'll see.
Fully have the lived experience of what that's like. And there's going to be a lot of gaps in their education of what they're saying. There's going to be a lot of things that are...
Just so you guys know, being from any country or a part of any ethnic minority does not necessarily mean shit as to whether or not you are going to be an authority on that issue. Case in point, Candace Owens, right? Who's going to tell you more, be more informative about about Black America to you? Candace Owens or like the majority of white liberals? Probably the majority of white liberals. But, you know. Harmful
that they're not even going to experience. They're just going to hang up their TikTok phone, enjoy their little PayPal requests and move on with their life. And to me, it's like, I literally have to worry about a passport right now. I have to worry about possibly being sent to El Salvador because they're talking about mentally ill trans people. It's not a life that is easy to live. And I think the Unfuck Tour could have done better with reaching out to more folks, including myself. I mean, I'm the only person in the history of this planet that's ever shut down Ben Shapiro, and I'm kind of disappointed that I wasn't even reached out to in any shape or form. But I'm not bitter about it.
I'm the only person who's ever shut down Ben Shapiro. Okay, bub. Okay. What? That's what I mean. Is like people who are like this are up themselves. It's never from you can't, the way this person's like puffing themselves up as like the person who can do the job and everything, or someone who's like listens to fucking black and white, like black and trans voices, and then obviously they're just like, yeah, okay, you just have a massive fucking ego. That's where this is coming from. Okay, gotcha. Oh shit, dog pile. All right, let's not go there. I need crippling poisons. This is very difficult. Why am I struggling so much? Anyway, so Shane, the person who could take out Ben Shapiro, this is his performance against Ben. I remember this person. Oh shit! If this is the person I'm thinking of.
Well, okay, we're gonna take.
If this is the person I'm thinking of, this is gonna be like a total stay. I hope it's not the person I'm thinking of, because my god. Okay, let's see.
This chair. Look at that.
Hey, Ben. Good start.
Like a bro,
Good start.
my friend. All right.
How's it going?
Let's break open.
So, first question: can men get pregnant?
Men cannot get pregnant.
Okay, awesome. So,
definitionally.
Definitionally, okay. Do men experience SA? Sexual assault?
Sure. He doesn't.
Got it.
Fucking Ben.
What about the existence of trans men?
What about the existence? Do you mean women who believe that they are men? What are we talking about here? women experiencing gender dysphoria.
So my other question is, do you benefit from white supremacy in any way, shape, or form?
I'm going to need more specifics on what you mean by white
Well, here,
supremacy.
let me give it to you then.
Sure, please.
So I'm a transgender man.
Okay.
I've experienced SA.
Okay.
And abortion rights affect me directly. So if we're talking about the American dream that you live, why don't I have access to that? Because there's no legislation, in the history of America, that legislates a man's body. So why does mine have to be legislated? I've got a vagina.
I'm not interested in what your genitalia are.
Clearly you are. I mean, it's all over everything you make, buddy. I'm sorry. I hate to say it to you, but
I think you can read on my face that I radically am not. I think you can read on my face that I radically am not. When we're talking about abortion...
No, I don't. I mean, you can present it here, but in most of the content that you have, you attack my community constantly. And you don't even realize guys like me exist, who actually share a lot of similarities to you and everything, because I'm a married man of 20 years. Got a wife.
I recognize that you exist. I disagree with your claim that you are a male.
So if I was sexually assaulted, right, and I didn't have access to that abortion care, do you believe that I should have carried that child to term because I was sexually assaulted?
I mean,
No, I just want to make sure that that's what you believe. Because as a transgender man, I have seen your side of the entire political debate, never ever having the conversation of what an American freedom is. Because why am I not allowed to live my American freedom as a man? You know, I mean, you get your choice as a man to live and free and all that.
You're really moving around terminology very wildly here.
And so are you, because that's the tactics you play in your game. And you've done it the entire time. You've jumped from one subject to the next. You speak so fast, and I know how you work. So how does it feel to have it in your face?
Oh, well, I mean...
Because I'm sick and tired of the shit that you have put against my community, especially black trans women. Because you constantly disregard all of our needs and then use us politically as a pawn when we're 1% of the population. Why not focus on the economy itself? All of us are struggling, and you want to focus on trans people. You want to focus on a black woman when this is clearly a glass cliff situation. America's falling apart, and let's give it a woman right when it's all falling apart, when we'd had, 50 men run it and it looks like shit? Look at where we're at. Surely.
This person's not saying anything though. Like, it's like, yeah, this is not a debate. Like, you sit down here for a debate. This isn't a debate. This is just like a fucking, I'm gonna take the mic and do like a fucking monologue. That's all this is. It's a monologue. Like, you might as well strap him to the chair and gag him. Okay.
So, where do you think that we're heading? I mean, it's so funny to watch.
It's also slightly stream of consciousness. So we started with men getting pregnant, and then sexual assault, and then white supremacy, and we moved off really quickly from that to, should I be allowed to have an abortion if I was sexually assaulted? Which I don't think transness would change Ben's opinion on that. Like, okay. And now with the economy, okay.
White supremacy just fall apart the way that it is, and you ride so hard because guess what? In other countries around the world, women are not having children. And why is it? Because of the patriarchy and all the violence that men perpetuate, and all of this idea that abortion is somehow gonna solve it all by forcing women to have abortion instead of focusing on the real problems that we're facing in our society. We're just gonna completely ignore that. And we're just gonna go, you know what? The line item is, let's make women have babies so that we can continue this capitalistic society that we have. Why are we doing that? What? I mean, why? Because you want to push.
Okay, first of all, I don't think birth rates are not slowing because of male violence against women. If you think that's the case, you would only believe that birth rates are less people having kids. You would only think that was a cause of male violence. If you think there was no patriarchy in like the 19th century, did patriarchy just like get worse from 1850 until now? And that's why women aren't having kids? What the fuck?
White supremacy, and because you want to make your check, it does great for you. Meanwhile, people like me have to live with the consequences of all of your rhetoric that you put on a daily basis. And including my entire community and the intersectionalities of black women, men
don't forget the
that experience
intersectionalities of
SA,
black women.
trans people, everyone that comes in. And I'm so sick of the idea that you can come in with this bravado, that you're this big guy that knows things because you can talk fast, you have statistics. But really, what does it really matter at the end of the day if you are harming the entire American? This guy's been accused of rape. Trump, in like court documents, and you're backing the guy. Like, you have children. How could you do that to your own? Don't you have a daughter? Like, what is wrong with you, dude? I've never seen such a party just completely like the American idea, what we believe in as a country, is not what you're perpetuating. It's diversity. It's giving you tired, hungry, and poor. The Google phone you have in your pocket is because of all of the diversity we've had.
Okay, so that person technically did shut down Ben Shapiro by kind of just like going on a stream of consciousness rant for 5 minutes. But okay, this is the person who. Okay, it's all coming together now. I remember.
In that sense, because trans men always get erased, but I think it's really important to understand the intersectionalities of different people and how we can actually change this, because just putting these two 21-year-old, 22-year-old white boys up there just because they got 1 million following, like, you're looking at the metric.
I mean, it's because they also have a big following because they're competent, and and they actually do seem to have the ability to catch people in the inconsistencies of what they believe, and maybe not push the people they're arguing with over, but definitely the audiences of the people they're arguing with over. Whereas that person will never change someone's life in their entire life as long as they live. The only mind they're going to change is a progressive person who ends up becoming like embarrassingly progressive. But okay, the only person that person's going to sway is taking a fucking progressive and turning them into a parody of a progressive. But all right.
You're not looking at the effectiveness of what is actually going to change people, get these votes changed, actually change minds, because we are dealing with literal fascism and Nazis right now, and playing games with PR bullshit and making such huge mistakes and harming people in that space is not just harming myself, it's harming a lot of other people. And I'm sure there's going to be rhetoric and you're going to experience a lot of anger and a lot of different things. People are valid to feel that way. They feel upset by the way that this has been produced. And now I understand, again, not everybody has the information.
You really don't understand anything about intersectionality. If you think that fucking stream of consciousness rant that I just listened to was a demonstration of intersectionality, you don't understand intersectionality. But okay, I think you'll find you don't understand. While we're at it, you also don't understand capitalism. You don't understand the labor theory of value. You don't understand. Okay. You don't understand Judaism? Okay, right. I know, I can see you said you were joking. I'm just going off anyway.
Not everybody's... You are also going to be able to fill us in on a lot of gaps on
you don't
why
understand
things happen the way they are.
Darvo?
But also, I think it's really important to still acknowledge that people can be harmed, and it's important to make a step and acknowledge and be accountable for it. Like, don't gaslight folks and be like, hey, well, this didn't really happen. It's so much better to actually be like, you know what, this was the mistake, this is what we did, and this is how we're going to correct it. Because building trust with so many different communities is so important. And if you're going to sit here and say we're going to unfuck America, realize America is not just white boys. It's all of us together. Wow. So you've got to bring in these voices simultaneously and have these conversations in a respectful way. And I think that it's important also to understand, to say, well, you know what, you guys go build your own thing. That's kind of bullshit, because we know the funding behind this is so much better. And I think it's important to create a cohesive plan together instead of just making it a white thing and a black thing and a trans thing and all these weird sectors, when clearly divided we fall, together we stand. So that's my whole soapbox. Thank you so much for the time. We'll stay here, so if there's any response needed, I apologize if I took up too much time, but I think it's important, again, to really always be aware of intersectionalities, because even myself as a white trans man, I can make mistakes.
Yeah. Thank you for coming up here, Shane, and, adding your 2 cents on this. Once again, you know what? Let me not address the comments. Let me shut up. Z, you are fun. Right Let me not address it. Let me not address it. If you guys are for those that are actively listening to what we have to say, I do appreciate y'all. Once again, this is not attack against Dean or Parker. Okay, I do.
It's crazy because
we've been making that very clear.
We disagree with each other on this topic. I just need to say this really quickly because it's genuinely agitating me. We literally disagree with each other on this topic on how to go about this. I think I've literally said, I don't think it's a bad tour. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's totally fine to do at the end of the day. But I think it's valid to have questions and criticisms. For instance, what are the protections for the people of color, the marginalized people that will be attending this? Is there going to be more money given to those people about giving out these flyers? It shouldn't have taken simply coming up when Hannah was already in here, right? To tell us, actually, no, this is what's happening, and I'll be giving out flyers, and I'll be doing this. Why isn't that more at the forefront of your marketing? I think that's a fair question to ask.
Yeah, and that's you know what? Perfect. Z, she's actually going to be running the campaign, so I would love to hear from her. Or is she her, right, Z?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, but before you go, let me make this very clear. Despite if we disagree with them, we disagree with them. Let her get her point across, and then Z, you have to allow for us to respond, whether it's like negative or not. With that being said, why create this? What was the point? Oh,
also, really quickly, can we not bring up my trauma? Can we not do that?
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah, let's not. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I didn't. That's okay.
I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying.
In general.
Let's not do it.
Yeah. I know. It's just as soon as I came up on the panel, you already were going crazy at me. But okay.
I don't. She wasn't saying anything. She was muted.
So I'm just
gonna. Crazy. Let's not do that.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I don't like that. See, let me make this very clear. No, Julianne came up after I already let you up. To be fair. Second of all, the reason why you were getting
was Shane.
Second of all, the reason why you got any energy from any of us, particularly me, because I was the one that first to mute you, was because you completely cut off what I was trying to say to be antagonistic, specifically towards like what we're trying to talk about in here.
Well, I do think that this live is antagonistic. But anyway, I'm just going to say my piece and I'm going to drop.
Oh.
So, but,
okay. Wait, hold on. So you don't want to have a conversation about this at all? See? I actually, we're all here because literally the questions, I'm not sure how long have you been in here, by the way?
I've only been in here for about 10 minutes. When you guys were yelling at Hannah, I came in. So I
is this the person? I'm sorry. Can I ask a question? Is this the person that is behind the tour?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I said that. Perfect that she's up here.
So can we get an answer to Ali's question first? Can we get it
before she starts?
I don't.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so just so there's no confusion, like I said, y'all, I told y'all, come on out. We've got to let them speak.
No. Hold on, Ali, because your question wasn't answered.
I'm going back to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go back. I'm going to ask
it again. The fuck are we watching here, bro?
So Z, yeah, I'm just curious. Why the tour and why the setup and exactly what's the point? Just to tell Charlie Kirk F you, or can you dive a little bit? No, I'm adding more to it. But yeah,
But I'm talking about, is she here to have a conversation or she's just going to spew and then...
Oh, the second question. That is a good point. Z, I know you said that you wanted to leave soon.
Okay, there are like so many fucking wells being poisoned on this conversation. Holy fuck.
Are you here to actually have a conversation and explain or expand a little bit more on this?
We can have a short conversation. I just can't stay up here long because I have to get on the meeting. But,
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I appreciate, pushback in any respect. Obviously I'm an organizer. I'm used to that. But the point I wanted to bring up to start with is that I think that having conversations where we say things like, this is so unorganized, which came out of multiple people's mouths, things like that, are directly harming the people of color that are behind this tour, that are working tirelessly to make this happen. And I'm just telling you guys that because I know that you don't know, okay? But the majority of the people behind this tour that are staying up late, working on this, because this is not easy. You think that getting 50 plus people to another state to do this is easy? Because it's not, right? And so we have young people that are
I can hear people fucking chuckling in the background as well, right? Okay.
Everything into this, that are scared of this administration, and then people are saying that they're unorganized.
There's no fucking way.
So as somebody who's done organizing within her own community, that's why I'm saying this.
So you're saying,
wait, are you saying? Wait a minute. Are you saying?
And now it's a fucking dog pile. Okay.
One thing at a time. No, she has to be able to respond to one thing at a time.
Are you seriously saying right now? I want to remind you, room of black women in here. Okay.
Oh,
are you seriously saying that because other people of color are also working on this tour, that we cannot critique when things are done in bad faith?
That's not what I said. And you assuming, Julie, you assuming that it's in bad faith.
What the fuck is going on?
Wait, I don't let people talk over me either. And I see that that's what you do. that you try to bully people.
Exactly.
And I don't
What the fuck is going
I'm,
Oh, no.
I'm just telling you that there are people of color that are working behind the scenes that is harmful to.
Yeah, and
Okay,
as a person
so-
of color, as
Can you
black
acknowledge
women who
that
have
or
also
not?
been organizing, we have
So
a right.
this is how we're going to do it. We're going to
Can I
let
respond
Ice.
to what she said, please?
Yeah, we're going to let Julianne respond, and then we're going to let Ice say something, and then we're going to
So-
go back in that order and let other people speak.
So okay, so are we not able to critique when things are done in bad faith? When it's by another
why are
person
you
of color?
assuming that they're done in bad faith?
I mean as if they are done in a myopic way, they can lead to significant harm. It can lead to a net negative of the overall leftist movement, which I don't believe that
Wait,
The
how
movement-
is this a net negative? Explain.
Right.
Yeah, please,
So
explain that.
right in terms of a leftist movement, I think from bare bones, having two white men as a forefront is always going to be a net negative. No movement has ever held, but
Fuck off, man. What are you talking about? The head of a leftist isn't this like an event they're organizing? What the fuck? Inherently net negative if two white people are at the head of a lefty movement. We're not talking about the movement for the entire planet or even for the entire country, right? We're talking about inherently. Inherently, okay.
by having white people at the front. I'm going to tell you that right now.
So,
And that's
Julie,
not
do you
even
know the
because.
purpose of this
Why
stop?
are you talking over me?
Do you know the
Let her
What's going
respond
on?
to
So
you.
why are you talking over me? So the interruptions are only like interruptions when it's from one group, but when to the other, it's like, why are you talking over me? Okay. Oh, why are you talking over me? Not why are you interrupting me? Why are you talking over me? Why are you like because it's make it sound like a microaggression. Okay, I see. This is a very this is toxic. This is toxic like weaponizing. Okay.
Then see, you're going to be able to speak because I want to hear from Ice and Tabby. Like, come on. I know you said you only had a few minutes up here, Z,
It
but come
seems
on
like-
now.
it seems
We
like
have
she
to.
already-
You have to let people like at least give you pushback and speak. You said that you don't mind that, so
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, but like,
Not
it seems like she. Oh, sorry. It seems like she already doesn't like
No,
me.
that's
but-
what Z said.
Oh,
no,
oh,
that's what I'm
sorry.
saying. That I was responding to what. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't. You're doing this thing where you're like, I don't know if it's like some kind of a tokenization of the, like black and brown people who may be working around you, but yeah, I don't see if you.
Well,
I don't know.
the crux of your argument is that it's harmful to have two white boys at the head of the tour. Is that what they're saying here? But then, if the argument is about harm, then you would say like undermining the event is harming to the POCs who are helping to organize the event. If it's a majority of them, she said there's a majority. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, then why is that tokenizing?
If you think that like us critiquing it like dilutes their work, none of us are saying that like this is bad work, right? I think the ability to organize is always going to be an amazing skill to have. I didn't think I would have to explain that, but this can be a huge problem. I think a lot of the issues that a lot of YT people have when they hold to particular progressive standards is that in order to get other white people to listen, they need to have white people at the forefront. But I think the second you capitulate to any form of racism or bias, you have already lost this, right? So despite the fact that people are working really hard to get all this up and moving, no, I would actually make the argument that it still causes some significant harm. So I don't know why you have an issue with me, because I don't know who you are. But it seems like you already have a particular bias going on here. So I would like you to,
Based
if you do
on
have a bias,
what?
I would like for you to tell me that.
Based
but, you
on
know,
what?
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why you tokenize the black and brown people that work with you as if that makes other black people.
You're claiming that the fucking black people are being harmed by the event, and you're trying to change it. But we're saying that these critiques, which don't seem to be like they're coming from good faith, are harming the people who are organizing the event who are black. What the fuck? All right.
Able to critique them.
I also want to note
never
as
said
well.
that I wasn't open to critique. That's what I'm not understanding the tokenization
your response
part.
was
but
that.
Julie, the reason why was because the first time I ever saw you was you yelling at Hannah. So I assumed.
So
that
wait a
you
minute.
already
Do you
had a
not know
big
the
problem.
context for that?
Dang it, see.
No,
Seems like
she
you
doesn't.
missed
She
out on
said
it.
she had just come in like 10 minutes
Okay,
ago.
so this is
Which
what I
really
mean.
weird.
One second. So this is what I mean. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. What you just described there was like insanely dangerous. Hannah had brought up something extremely traumatic that had happened to me and tried to derail the entire conversation. And obviously I'm going to be a little bit triggered when people try to weaponize like literal violence, racial violence, misogynist violence, sexist violence being used against me. So I'm sure when a black person is yelling, you just hear yelling. But no, what she had said, what she had said was deeply harmful to me. So the fact that you just see it as me bullying sweet little white Hannah is a problem.
Sweet little white Hannah. Okay, yeah, this is not microaggressing. This is like they are fucking racializing every single thing the Z person is saying. Fucking hell, man. Really, that's what you heard tonally? Poor little white Hannah. Holy shit. She just said you were yelling. Holy fuck. Okay, I get it. So basically nothing happened here. Like nothing. Yeah, basically nothing happened here. Okay, cool. And let's see how they talk about it. For 2.5 hours. Why? Why are they talking about it for 2.5 hours?
Feel free to take it away.
All right, so I want to start.
Damn, and Dean and Parker, like, they threw this girl under the bus for that? What the fuck? These two males just fucking ditched a woman. Oh, God. That's the intersectionality's got a lot to say about this.
I know that we have people on the panel that will speak to multiple things, and I have something specific that I want to speak to. But I want to clarify something that Dean said. Dean mentioned that all of the creators that went on the tour was involved with the conversation. That's not accurate. There are specific people that were not included, but the actual people that were included in this helped come to the conclusion. And I'm not going to say why specific people were not at it, but I just want to leave it at that. It was.
Remember Harry Sisson? Yes, we remember. We stand now. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, compassionate. Yes, we do remember the loss of a strong one. We remember the great betrayal and the blood that was spilled. We remember the twink death of Harry Sisson and his great comrades who did stab him in the back.
It's not every single creator that went on the tour. With that being said, I specifically want to speak to something. The thing that I want to speak to is two quick things. There's a lot of people who are asking the question, why haven't we addressed this before then? And so Dean specifically has spoken.
This is disgusting, but not what the Trump administration is doing. That's true, Tough Mittens. We always say that what the Trump administration is doing is fucking based. Even in this stream, when we reacted to Trump and all of his decisions, we were like, we loved it. It made us so happy.
To his reasons why he didn't actually come out and say anything, or what the actual delay was. I want to take a moment to just say that we were lied to. Period. We were lied to. We were specifically told by someone that we trusted to actually be truthful, and someone told us that the way to go about this was to.
This chat is more heated about this than when you were discussing Trump. Yeah, and when I die in a video game, I get more animated than when I'm reading a book about the Holocaust. It's like the way that people act when they're like triggered, or when there's like fucking funny stuff happening, or when there's like triggering stuff or annoying stuff happening, or tragic things happening. It's not like the level of like bah that people do is proportionate to the amount of suffering that's happening in the world, or the amount of anger that people feel. Like, I know it looks like all men in the world are more angry at losing at video games than they are at like the fucking famine in Sudan, but I guarantee you they're not.
Hold comments because things were being worked on the back end. And that's not true. Someone specifically was manipulating the situation and actually trying to control the flow of information that was coming out. Whether it be.
Shut up. Stop saying you're more angry about this than you are about the famine in Sudan. Shut the fuck up. Fuck you.
Be us speaking out individually or collectively, or any other messages being shared. So as a collective unit, we were going through conversations. We were going through back and forths as far as what do we want to say? How do we want to do? What do we want to address? And let me be very clear and very strong in what I say at this very moment.
How do I?
Yeah,
It's
all
really
good.
loud. I appreciate that.
I want to be very clear and very straightforward at this moment. And I said this to Z herself. What she said.
Isn't Z also a minority? Who is? I don't know anything about this Z person. Who is Z? What minority group is Z from? Honestly, all I heard was white woman. I was picturing Marie Antoinette like wagging her finger, saying "Let them eat cake." That's what I heard.
On that panel was racist. It was racist. It was racist microaggressions. She was racist. She should not have said those things.
What things?
Anyone, but specifically those black women on the panel.
What things?
Now, with that being said, I want to speak on the point of.
I'm sorry. Should I just keep watching the debate? Does she just like snap and call them the N-word, or does she actually even use like coded fucking microaggressions? Like does she say "you people" like 3 times in a row, or does she say or does she talk about being uppity, or like sit down and listen and know your place, or does she say "boy" with 2 syllables and the silent M at the beginning? Does she start randomly speaking like a southerner, like Vosh? Talking to Brianna Joy Gray.
Like racism, right? And even more so, people who call themselves advocates. There are certain people who are saying that they are sticking up for the black community, sticking up for the marginalized community, sticking up for the black people that went on this tour who didn't have representation or were given less than or anything like that.
Vosh did talk like a southerner. Yeah.
There's certain people that
Talking
have
to a
made
black
videos
for like 5 seconds
talking about black people should have had this, or black creators should have got that, or black creators whatever. Specifically, people who have voiced their opinions and said that they're being advocates for black people while never speaking to the black people that they were advocating for. So as far as certain people who have continued to actually talk and say the black people that are on this tour, they're not getting this. The black people that are on this tour, they're not getting that, or they should have this, or this should happen.
Hang on.
I want you all to know
Is it this one?
that those people
Yeah, I think it's this.
did not come and speak to the black people involved in this tour.
To be like more specific about what Satana's saying, there's been other creators that have claimed things like some of the black creators who came along on the trip were not paid for,
It's this. So wait, why is this fucking commiseration session so long? This 2.5 hour. Does this get heated as well? What happens? What happens here that makes it last 2 hours? If they're just saying, yeah, it's a shame that Z was like that. It's a shame she said all those things, those words that exist.
About political pragmatism.
He became president.
Right. With or without my vote in Washington, D.C., and not even a state, that is the most effective way for me to actually politically represent my interests.
I'm not. My point here ain't about criticizing your vote. It's that only 2 people were going to be president, and there were
right.
only.
That is the most effective way for me to actually politically represent my interests.
I'm not. My point here ain't about criticizing your vote. It's that only 2 people were going to be president, and there were only 2.
I do declare. Well, my only guess is this is around the same time that people were really like fucking fawning over like Glass Onion and Knives Out, and he was trying to be like Daniel Craig. That's so good. So maybe listen. Did Z do that? This Dean Parker reminds me of this stuff too. What stuff? Where? This is not a timestamp.
In absolute tears of this from Robin DiAngelo's new book. Oh no. At this point in my life, I had no black friends and had rarely spent time with black people.
Oh, there's Chud
I was
Logic.
excited and felt an immediate need to let them
What
know
a crossover.
I was not racist. To that end, I proceeded to spend the evening telling how racist my family was.
Dan, remember when Chud Logic came out of Vosh's community and that was a whole thing? He used to hang out with Demon Mama and shit. I used to have Doe in my Discord. Fuck. Fucking hell. Little do people know. Pandemic, man. It's different times.
For in the sense of planes, of hotels, etc. Meanwhile, the white creators were. And essentially, like what you're saying is that that's not true, right?
That is not true. It's not. It's not. And for anyone to, so I don't want to go into like the full detail of like timelines or what happened or when or whatever. I will say that there's more to all of this story. I don't want to hog all the time, but there's more to all of the actual story, the situation, how this actual timeline progressed. Something that I've shared with everyone on this panel, and I've even told Z. So I do a podcast with Jessica Simone. The podcast will be out tomorrow, and I will specifically be speaking on that podcast, not only to the timeline of how everything came about, but also the back end stuff that people don't know about. And that's something that a lot of people don't have, is the understanding as far as everything that happened to get us to this point. But the thing that I want to focus on, and I'm going to leave it as far as my final point, two things. One, all of the creators wanted Z to come out and apologize and make a statement for being racist. Yes, every single one. There has not been an instance where anyone has said that we did not want her to apologize. We all wanted accountability. We all wanted accountability. Two, for anyone who's saying that they're advocating for the Black community,
Houthi spokesperson denies claim they will stop attacking ships. Really? You mean we can't trust Trump intel? It's not CIA intel. It's not US intel. It's Trump intel. Oh well.
Advocating for marginalized people.
I never doubted my brave soldiers in the Ansar Allah movement.
Marginalized voices. Anyone that's been loud and proud and saying that I'm doing this for these Black people that are going on the tour, they are lying to you. They are lying to you because they did not talk to us. They have not been in communication with us. They have not engaged in good faith, and they are doing it for themselves. They are being performative. If they really cared about the Black creators that were on this tour, one, they would have reached out to us, but two, they would not continue to do and say harmful things that would put us in jeopardy. That's all that I have to say. I know.
I guess I'd just add on there, like, to be more specific, like he did specifically say Black women. So I mean, Erica and Mermaid, I would love to give the mic to you guys to be able to speak your mind and kind of share a little bit about how you feel.
I just want. Do I still have an echo?
So you just sound really low.
You don't have an echo. However, I don't think that your like mic is properly plugged in.
Let's move over to the mic. Okay, is that better? Is that better?
Yep.
Try to like.
There we go.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, I know. Okay, guys. Geez Louise. I just want to reiterate what Santana said is that from the beginning, I always requested that a statement be made. I do understand diplomacy and basically putting on a united front.
Yep.
So if I'm told that we're not going to speak about it, then we're not going to speak about it. So that's basically what it was. But I still think
where are the fucking mountain lions?
Even to this very second, that a statement should be put out apologizing to those women, because what she said was wrong, intentional or unintentional. It was wrong, and she needs to address it and take accountability. So that's my whole thought on that matter. Also,
did this freeze?
It was a homophobic ad, and it should have been pulled. I think it was pulled. I'm not sure, but my community didn't like it. I expressed that to Z, and she said that she would look into it, and then I didn't hear anything else about it. It just, it didn't feel good, and I expressed this a lot, that we just need to have a statement. Something needs to be said.
You know what? Something about me just feels like it's intentional. I don't know why. I feel like if I caught someone saying something mad shit, like I would never spend the day after the Ethan Hassan debate being like all those things that Hassan said. God, what a fucking moron! Those words in that combination and those sentences with the commas and the fact that he said that, the fact that he said those words, those particular words, I've seen that. Those words that exist in the dictionary. I cannot believe he put those words together in that order. Like, you would never talk like that. You would just say, yeah, the Jews go back to Iraq. That was so fucking funny, man. Jesus. Something about me just makes me think it's intentional, but I don't know.
And with people in the background acting in bad faith, pretending to act in everyone's best interest, it didn't do us any favors. So I just want to say that I am sorry to my community. I truly am sorry to everyone. I want this to continue, but I agree with my peers here that I do not want Z to be at the forefront of it. So that's it. That's all I have to say, because I'm not going to cry.
And I just have two things I want to add on here. So first and foremost, like, this apology isn't for you of your wife. I want to point that out. Like, I just see a lot of people down there in the chat. Like, this apology is for specifically like black individuals.
This is for black people. This is for black women. I'm sorry, love. I am sorry to black women. You look at my page. I support black women. All right. That's what I do. I support black women first and foremost. All right. That's what I do. And to be put in this situation, no, it's just wrong. And trying to be diplomatic.
My normie friends are saying Ethan and Hassan both crashed out. No one's winning in this. I've heard a few normies say different things. Like, I heard one normie that I know kind of like loosely saying that they thought Hassan came off as like the more knowledgeable or more educated person. But I'm like, I imagine that would be the case if you were the kind of person who was impressed by like the jargon and shit like that. Because I know that does work on people, like being able to talk or to cite books and shit that even if you've never read them. But I think the fact that it's kind of like a split decision to a lot of the normies that I know, that does look quite bad for Hassan, because it shouldn't be. To people who aren't involved, it shouldn't look like just two people being mental. It should look like a political person, like, obliterating someone who's not political, like a seasoned political creator, just making fucking beef mince out of the guy who's just learned about the conflict recently and still has a lot of holes in their knowledge, you know? And I think that's probably what is messing up Hassan so much, is that Hassan knows in his head that Ethan knew things that he didn't. And that is quite embarrassing for him. So who won? I won. Okay, I ate well. Israel lost. Palestine lost. Gaza's definitely lost, but you know, the protesters on both sides have about 2 weeks to make something happen. Otherwise, shit.
Diplomatic. It's a strength and it's a weakness. That's all I'm going to say. And I'll be quiet for the rest of the time.
And then also just one other thing is, like, I also see a lot of other people like really invalidating like the grievances and hurt.
No, not the community.
Members on this panel. Please don't do that, because like the grievances and hurt are legitimate.
Yeah, and I'll just say, I mean, genuinely, Erica hit it right on the head. This is for black women specifically, because there were black women that were disrespected. And for anyone who is actively engaging in bad faith, and down in the comments saying, you know, this is performative or whatever, sorry, this isn't for you. This is specifically to the black women that were hurt and affected by everything that happened. That's the point. And our communities. Yes, we are sorry to our communities for having to actually deal with any and all of this.
Yeah. And just by the way, I wanted to repeat the overall like thesis, because there's definitely a lot of new people that have come in here. That like the Unfuck America tour, the movement is going nowhere. We're just kind of re-navigating how it's organized. So basically, like, the request is, and as of today, and this was agreed upon by all 30 creators that went on the trip, we were able to successfully organize a large call, and we spoke for about 3 hours before I hopped on live here.
Almost.
almost everyone, almost everybody, is that, if we're going to continue this movement backed by the same pack, that means that Z steps down from any position in that pack. Z leaves the pack.
Jeez.
Or we just simply navigate away from the pack. That's all.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
The whole
does anybody else feel like
yeah,
to add on?
that's what I was about to say, mermaid.
Yeah, so there's definitely been a lot going on, but today's call was definitely needed to be able to figure out where to go from here. First off, I want to say I can speak for myself, so I don't need anyone speaking for me. When we saw what was like happening on that live, I only got bits and pieces because I kept going into the group chat that we all have and telling Z that she needs to get down. Me and Erica both. And one thing that I'm going to say is the reason why America is in the position that they are in is because people don't listen to Black women. And we said it over and over again and told her she was wrong. And with having 30 different people all having an opinion, it got to be so much. But then also we had a mission to go to this school where we all knew that we had supporters that were coming out, that wanted to see us, that wanted to have a safe space that they did have during that time. So it was so hard to navigate if we let people down or if we help people out. And in that situation, everything was already paid for, everything was already set up. All of this happened at one time. So it was so hard to figure it out. But we did decide to go. And even then, there was still me and Erica and multiple other people that are up here that were saying that Z needs to make a public statement, and it didn't happen.
Terminal Sanity, thanks for $5. And the leftist circular firing squad keeps spinning around and around, and America burns around them. Oh, don't be so pessimistic. 2 more for the goal. The goal is too short. Idiots. Thank you. Love you.
Because there were other factors that were coming in within all of this. Regardless, what happened should not have happened.
We need some speed on this
If
one.
we are all fighting a fight and an important fight, things need to be addressed head on so that we don't have these big problems and things start to implode. And so for that, I can apologize. And I know that everybody up here feels the same way after having the very long conversation that we had. So for the people that we did let down, I do feel as though, I'm sorry, because we're just trying. I know I can speak for myself and say that I'm just trying to help out, even though I'm not some big old person. And last thing, like I said before, and I really just want to reiterate this, when it comes down to, because I know it's been said that I paid for everything to go there. That's a lie. I know there's been a bunch of different lies, like I didn't feel safe. That's a lie. You don't have to speak for me. And regardless, even if it wasn't paid for, I still would have went, because I agree with the movement, with the reason why we are going to these schools. And by the end of that night, I saw that is why I went. So even if I had to pay out of pocket, I still would have done it because I love a country that does not love me. And I'm going to continue to fight for this country that does not love me because I love this country and the people in it. I would have paid my own money if I had to. I land my plane with that.
Can I just add on, Mermaid, did anyone reach out to you about, you happen to
not
pay
a single
your
person.
Own?
Not one person has asked me anything. People have just said what they feel about it. And it really is aggravating because I will speak out. I will speak up. I will answer questions. I answer majority of my DMs. I'm not some big streamer or big person. I will talk to you, but no one spoke to me, but everyone spoke about me. And that's a problem to me.
Yeah. So people that are making videos or making comments or making posts saying that, Black people came in late and they're having to pay or whatever, that's not true. That's not true. Sorry.
So there's not much more that I'm going to say that Santana, Erica, and Mermaid didn't cover just now. Basically, I did want to speak for myself and also Hannah, because she said she was probably not going to be able to come on the panel. Basically, like Santana said, some of us were misled into believing that there was a consensus not to speak about this. And so that's why on Friday on my live, I didn't speak about it. That's why I can't remember when Hannah's live was, maybe Thursday, but that's why she didn't speak about it. And I just want that out there because I didn't know that this consensus didn't exist until this morning.
Listen, I feel like for like me as a white man, right? Here's my perspective. I don't really think like a consensus matters. You know, I feel like, you know, it was wrong of me to not speak about this prior to the tour. Specifically about the organizers, once again, for all the people in the comment section saying what's going on. I'll reiterate. The organizer of the tour went on a TikTok live like 2 or 3 days before we were boots on the ground in the Texas and was being microaggressive to the black women on the panel.
It's
and
so
then,
fucking
yeah,
dumb, man.
Before, like, once again, I'll just repeat this for all the new people coming in here. The
Specify.
reason why I still went on the tour, even after that occurred, was because you know, individuals had already bought plane tickets to go to Texas from Oklahoma, from Chicago, from Florida, and at the time, you know, I was like, you know what, I'm just still gonna do it. But in retrospect, what I should have done, and I didn't do this, what I should have done is I should have used my position as a larger influencer to basically say, no, either she holds herself accountable, you boot her out, or I don't go. And I didn't do that, and that's wrong, right? And that's what I said at the beginning of the stream, and that's what I'll say again. But, you know, insofar as like what the actionable steps were, once we got back from Texas, well, there was a couple things that we consider. One of the big, like, this is a big thing, and I want to make sure to bring this up, is the PAC fundraised $100,000 from the event. And a big part of navigation when we got back was I want to make sure that all of the creators are on the same page, right? So we could almost unionize and say, you guys have to either get a new organizer, or the current organizer has to show real actionable steps towards accountability. And then days passed, there was no real actionable steps towards accountability. So that's why we are all here today, because we've agreed that essentially this will not continue with PAC as it stands with the Organizer Z. Either the Organizer Z will step down, or we will, you know, digress from the PAC and find other means to continue the movement. And that's basically, you know, what we're all here to talk about.
Yeah, and again, I just oh, go ahead. If you'd like
No,
to
you're
go.
good. I just wanted to finish what I was going to say, so you go ahead and I'll finish.
Absolutely. I just wanted to again say, like, everyone, like, please, right, listen to the people involved, listen to the people in the tour, listen to everyone on this panel right now. It's really important to do that. Also, like, hold us accountable. It's really important to hold people like Dean and I accountable. And there were a lot of people in the Discord, right, engaging in racist microaggressions towards black women, like, within the context of our Discords. And we just want to say that we do not support that. We think that is horrible. And we want people within the Discords also to be able to hold themselves and us accountable.
Okay.
Health warning. Health warning.
What happened? This is still live. Is it just someone's thing buffering? I just have to watch it. Okay. Let's not sit through it, okay? Please hold me accountable. Please fuck me.
About things that took place. And one of the examples was what Mermaid just covered with the creators that are people of color having to not having to pay, or having to pay, excuse me, for their travels, while others don't. Pickles can also speak on that as well as a white creator who did have to pay. And so there are a lot of other things like that. And I just want it clear that both of these things are true at the same time. That what took place in that live was unacceptable. And also there are bad faith actors.
It's like that sketch show in the Mitchell and Webb. Whenever it's like there's this recurring theme in all the episodes that's like a post-apocalyptic hellscape, and they're doing like a game show in it. And they keep on referring back to the event, right? And you never know what the event is, but you just know some bad shit happened. They're like, before the event, we are on year 33 since the event. That's how they're talking about. You never know what the event was, like what happened. Like that's what they're talking about. They're talking about the event. Listen, what happened on that day? Fuck me.
Taking advantage of the situation. That's all I can say.
Yeah, to add on to that, you know, like there's this one guy that's been making videos about it, and in one of his videos he included like the claim that there was women of color on this trip that had to pay their own way, meanwhile white people didn't. And that was the first time I'd heard that. So my immediate response was, okay, I'm gonna DM this guy and I'm gonna ask him like who specifically had to pay their own way, so I could personally resolve the issue. And I mean, even when I DM'd him, I was like, please keep this private. You know, I don't want this to be shared publicly. I just want you personally to maybe share this information with me so I could try to help resolve it you know, behind the scenes and take care of that, just because I definitely think that would be really wrong and bad. And then he DMs me back and he basically says, nope, I'm not going to tell you. You don't get to know. And yeah. So that was really concerning.
And that's my point about when people say that they're actually advocating for certain people when they don't actually do the work, but yet they want to get the attention. That's what we're talking about. So they had the opportunity to reach out to the Black creators. They had the opportunity to answer Dean's question. They had the opportunity to actually put action behind the words, and they didn't do that. And one other quick thing that I want to, touch on before I pass it over to Pickle is to Dan's point. I want to be very, very clear, because Dan said the reason why he didn't, speak on certain things is because, he was told specifically that he shouldn't. And, the message that a lot of creators were given was follow the direction of the Black creators, right? They were told, follow the direction of the Black creators. And someone specifically weaponized that message and told everyone else that the message should not be communicated, that there should be no apology pushed out, that people should put it on ice and not talk about it, and we should not address those things. While at the same time telling the Black creators, have your best interest at heart. And
what are we
I'm gonna
talking
take
about?
care of this. Trust me, believe me, I got it. So what actually happened was certain white creators or non-Black creators were being told, hey, I'm working with the Black creators, and this is what they want you to do. While at the same time telling the Black creators, we just need to all chill out and I'm going to take care of it. So when Dan says individually he was told not to actually air things out or talk about this, that's true. But that's because someone was lying to all of us and actually going around and trying to manipulate a situation. Pickles.
Yeah, I think everything's been pretty well explained so far. I also do want to pound on the fact that we are not doing this in reaction to other creators making videos or making lives about this. We're doing this on our own volition. We've had a 4-hour meeting today about this.
Shit.
All of us did this on volition.
Can I take on
we
3?
do care about this a lot, and it wasn't only just one thing or two things. It was an amalgamation of things, and our genuine concern over whether or not this pack was taking good care of us or doing this event in the best way that they could, and we had our own criticisms of it. But yes, as far as I know, I'm the only creator I know of that paid out of pocket for anything. There could be more, but I paid over $1,000 to come, and I was very ecstatic to come. And I think it was an overall success for even someone like me who paid all the way out of pocket to come. What? That's all I have.
I just wanted to add on there because the timing is incredibly suspicious because we started this live just a little bit after another creator on the platform started their own live. Yeah, I mean, every single person on this panel, as well as every other creator on the trip, could definitely attest to the fact that we'd been in a Google Meet talking about what had happened, what the next actionable steps are for hours before we're live here and before another creator had started their own live. But hey, I also
can I just say this real quick, and I'm sorry. So I got permission from Erica to share this. So this is the signal chat message that I sent out to everyone, but specifically this is what I sent to Erica, basically saying, hey, we need to meet.
Okay.
I sent it at 9:47 a.m. Pacific, saying that, hey, we need to meet at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and trying to get everybody organized and on the same page. So for anyone thinking that this is reactionary, no. We have been talking, not only have we been in communication about everything for the last couple of days, but specifically when it comes to what we're doing right now, this started at 9-something this morning, as far as deciding how we were going to go about doing this, what we wanted to talk about, how this live was going to look. So no, we're not reacting to anyone who is live or making videos or whatever.
Warning.
And there's also just a couple smaller things that I'd like to talk about, specifically about the NDAs, because they were talking about the NDAs. So this morning, every creator on the trip got sent an NDA by the organizer. And then I went into a larger group chat with all the creators and I told people not to sign the NDA. And then I got a phone call where I got yelled at and all this stuff because apparently I made a very bad decision by telling people not to sign the NDA. So yeah, that did happen. That did happen, and that was so fucking. That was insane. I'm still in disbelief.
And just to correct, the NDA went out last night at around 10 p.m. That was when we got the NDAs. Some people were asleep, some people were not, but I don't think anyone up here signed. I'm pretty sure a majority of us know to seek legal counsel beforehand, but that it did go out later on.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I still defend my position of telling people not to sign that. And I was perplexed by like the reaction that I was met with by the organizers. You know, I got called and they were like really mad at me for telling people not to sign it. But yeah, it was very questionable, especially a couple subsections of the document in of itself. And yeah, I defend that. And then also one other thing, or two other things, is I just want to reiterate the same sentiment that, you know, the conversation about like myself holding myself accountable, an apology, this is only for Black individuals. I want to reiterate that once again, as well as I do see some, you know, some misogyny as well as anti-Black racism in the chat, and that is unacceptable in this space.
What the fuck?
Grievances are valid and they shouldn't be invalidated. And I think that's really important.
Is he getting brigaded by like fucking groypers because they've heard about what's happened, or is he just seeing racism and misogyny everywhere now? Oh no. What's that? You know what? What's that clip? What's that clip of Fuentes at the fucking Chipotle? It was Sundowner. Yeah, maybe. You think we need more Fuentes on this? I don't know.
Now, Simple Black there, would you like to add a handful of things on?
Yeah, just a few things. So I want people to understand that there were two situations that happened simultaneously. The first situation was the criticism about the Unf America tour and the protection of Black people. Then the second situation is how Z entered a panel full of Black women and was hostile towards these Black women. What we need to understand is that the Black creators that was a part of this tour spoke with each other and tried to understand what's the next move. Our goal was to make sure that this situation will never happen again, and to make sure that we can have a stronger unified front when it comes to the next step for the Unf America tour. So to see people coming here and try to belittle a few of the individuals that was on the tour, such as Mermaid and Erica, bashing them as Black women, or even me calling me a mediocre, or even Chris calling Chris and I mediocre Black men, or even saying that we were DEI hires. These were the things that was being said to the people that claimed that they were protecting.
You know what? Okay. Specifics. Yes. Thank you.
So I ask you, how is that protection? How is that protecting individuals if those same individuals are being attacked by those same individuals? And that's what we have to understand. I spoke with some of these people that actually started this situation, and I asked them, have you spoke with the Black individuals that you're protecting? And they said no. So I'm curious, do you care about us more than we care about us? And that's a scary situation that I've noticed. And I'm just shaking in this situation because people are literally questioning the Black creators' Blackness at some point, as if these individuals understand what we went through more than us. And that's what I wanted to say. Like we have to understand the situation at hand, and it's bigger than this. No one's sitting here saying what Z did was right. But at the same point, we were told not to say anything. We were also told that the situation was going to get fixed. A lot of us was questioning even staying here. And we came together and spoke about this. But instead of the people who had this criticism coming to talk to us
Remember, he's not talking about Z here. Z didn't call them DEI hires. This is like people in comments, I think. Lexar, thanks for the 10 USDs. Holding myself and everyone in chat accountable. Listen, if you think $10 is going to hold this entire chat, this entire fucking crack den of disgusting reprobates and menaces, you are pissing in the wind, my friend. You are very naive. If you think $10 will hold this lot accountable, these fucking buzzards.
About this, they decided, hey, let's go on live and let's talk about it without inviting these individuals, without letting them hear them out. And when they did hear us out, we were attacked. That's the beginning of all of this. Erica was attacked, Mermaid was attacked, Chris was attacked, I was attacked, Santana was attacked, Dad, Pickles, everyone, Dean, Parker, we were all attacked simultaneously without us even defending anything. And that's the last thing I want to say about all this.
One thing that I want to kind of mention and call out, because again, I want to be very clear. There's a difference between bad faith actors and...
What is this? A clip from the stream. Who is Pickles? Who are these characters?
You don't know what you're talking about.
You know what?
Sorry.
No, how about wait?
Sorry.
It's okay.
Exactly.
Sorry. Go ahead.
You don't know what you're talking about.
You know what? No, how about wait?
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Ice,
perfect.
and then we're
This
gonna.
is
I think I got
exactly
this in
my
order.
point. I think it's fucking ridiculous for your. You know what? I think it's fucking ridiculous for you, a white woman, to tell me, a black woman who has done several organizations for black communities, for people of color, for houseless people, houseless youth, just the youth, about me not knowing anything about organization. I think that's fucking hilarious. As somebody who's like done exactly what you're doing, I'm telling you right now, it's incredibly disorganized. Maybe it's a short time period, and that's the reason why, but you're shit at your job. What I am saying, right, is on top of that, you know what, even forget everything else, because Elena brought up an excellent point. You want to come up here and you want to wank yourself off to the work that black people, marginalized.
I've never heard an American say wank so seamlessly. You're gonna wank yourself? What the fuck?
People are doing.
Wank.
But then at the same time, you won't even put them at the front line of your bullshit ass website. Shut the fuck up. You useless ass, lipless ass, assless, loser ass bitch. Don't ever come here and talk to black people like that again. Chris, a crunching nonsense human. Anyway.
What the fuck?
You don't know what you're talking about.
What the fuck? Holy shit. Lipless, assless. Wow. Interesting. The Hamas TikToker you interviewed is adjacent to all these people, by the way. Oh, I know. She's like, what's her face? What's her face? Fuck. Athena. Yeah, she's like the Israel-Palestine fucking library for Dean and Parker. Which I think is fucking mental, but, you know. I'm not competing with this level of fucking audience capture. Hell no. People coming into my DMs being like, "Excuse me, Lonerbox, you need to save Dean and Parker from the propaganda, the Hamas supporter. As a Jew, Lonerbox, you gotta come and say, as a Jew, I think it's your duty. I think you should come." I'm like, listen, my Jewish friend, you're on your own, bud. What? I am Switzerland in this situation. Holy shit. Or is it Sweden? I don't know. One of the countries that was neutral.
People who had genuine concerns, and there were some people who had genuine concerns, right? And the one thing that I want people to understand is that every black person that decided to join this tour and to go to Texas A&M understood what we were doing. We absolutely understood that we were not welcome in College Station. We understood that we were going there and we were putting ourselves at risk. So for anyone to say that the proper things aren't being done or the proper steps weren't being taken, or, you know, you're not caring or thinking about the black people that are going, to Theory's point, like, we care about ourselves and we were fully aware, and we made sure that we were going to be protected. So there was some misconceptions or even lies about the access to security or whatever the case may be, protection while we were there. We were assured that security was going to be in place, that we were going to have private areas that we had access to. And we did just that, whether it was private areas in our hotel, whether it was private places to eat dinner, whether it's police officers on campus with us. All of those things happened, and we knew what was happening. So having those concerns about black people, thank you. Yes. But also spreading misinformation and lies about what is happening or what didn't happen, that's not beneficial. It was harmful, and it continues to be harmful.
And I just want to also say that
they requested segregation. No, it would have been like safe spaces or some shit. Like, fuck.
I just want to also say that those the bad faith actors that Santana had spoken about here, I think
Which, again, there's nothing wrong with asking for those.
I genuinely saw through said targets put on the backs of the black creators on this tour, and it just when everything came out and I saw I'm boiling with rage, and I wanted to say that on behalf of them, because genuinely they received messages because of misinformation that was coming out.
I just want to say this. If anyone just wants the actual proof of what happens, if anyone in the chat can, just put that YouTube video of what happened between everybody that was part of that live and with Z. Not only are you going to see Z become microaggressive against these black women, but you're also going to see other outcomes of what's happening. And
it's true. I looked. Yeah. She was like, "Why are you yelling at me?" when the person was yelling. It was mental. Is there any point in me looking for a group here? If there's no tank, then definitely not. Why can't it? Fuck! Yeah. Okay.
Also get a bigger story.
Listen, here's what I want to say. I think that like good faith critical dialogue and criticism is not only a good thing, but it's necessary. It is so incredibly necessary. If I didn't have a conscious attitude where I'm wanting to be accepting of like real criticism from good faith actors, I would not be the man I am today. I mean, over the course of the last couple of years, I've heard constructive criticism on so many things, and I've genuinely tried to stay conscious about it, and it has helped me become a better person. And I think that does apply now, right? And we spent some time talking about some like the bad faith actors involved, but I want to talk about the good faith actors involved. And I think that there has been like legitimate criticism, and we've kind of already covered a little bit of that. I know that I have, like, when I, for instance, started opening up, and just know that like I take it seriously, and I always have. And I always will.
I need this.
At least I'll always try to. I guess that's what I should. I guess that's what I should say. Now, if did anybody else on the panel want to add anything in here?
Yeah, Erica has something.
Erica?
I think my mic is like pretty staticky. I think you guys can hear it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, but
Yeah, it's really not good.
I just want to. Okay. All right. Hold on one moment.
Yeah. While Erica fixed her mic, I'll make one more quick point, and that is we as creators hold ourselves to a very high level, very high standard. And the reason why we're doing this right now is because it was important for us, once we found out the things that were happening, to actually put it out there. Now, again, the statements that, and I'm going to be clear, the statements that Z made was racist. It was.
Let's be clear.
We also all agree that she needs to apologize and take accountability. With that being said, we all also understood that we were told that this was being taken care of, and we were being lied to at the same time. And as soon as we found this information out over the last 24 hours, we have been sharing this information with each other. We organized, we got on a call that lasted for hours, and then we immediately shifted from that call to this live so we can share this information with you. So that's why we're here today.
I think I need to chop between the two just to get some variety, keep things fresh. It's not here, is it? I love tabbing in hardcore. It's so fucking banging. Whoa. Anyway, need to find Z social so you can follow her and give her money. Yeah. Where is it, though? It's this one, wasn't it? God, they were talking for another hour after this escalation. Sorry, I mean microaggression.
I also want to know
Arab people can be white.
Can we establish
It's not a
this?
race.
Oh,
Arab is not a race.
y'all,
Go one
please.
at a
I just
time,
also want
please,
to. I want to
because-
note again, right? So I do think it's really interesting, and you're not the only one doing this. I will say, comments are doing this either. This weird idea that nobody in here has ever done any sort of any kind of organizing or whatever. Why do you
Yeah,
think
that was a weird
Tabby said what
assumption.
Tabby said? What I said? What I said?
Nobody said
I
that.
have-
You did say that.
You
Wait,
did,
I
though.
said
You
that
made-
nobody has organized anything? That
Yes.
came out of my
You,
mouth.
you literally did. I don't know if you forgot, but it was
That was the
something
first
that you
thing you
said.
I said organize. No, what I said specifically, Ice, was that organizing people, 50 people to go out of state is not an easy job.
Nobody
That's
said it
what I
was.
said.
Nobody said it was. But what I'm trying to say.
Wait. Was that me saying that nobody
No.
in here
Yes,
has ever
and
organized?
yes, because
wait,
I
wait,
specifically.
you're
That's not
agreeing.
that's
I
not what
you're
that
agreeing,
means.
and that's not what
Y'all,
was
can I
said.
please finish?
She's
So
being
I specifically was.
she's being disingenuous. You started
How is
off
that
by saying
disingenuous?
you started off
Oh my
by
fucking God.
saying you don't
I'm
know
doing-
how
I'm doing
hard
it now.
it is
Yeah.
to organize 50 people. That's
is-
where you
That's not what I
assume-
said.
I also
what
specifically
you
like to
started.
say that
Do
I was
you
one of the
think-
people. I
Okay,
would
I'm
like to
not
say
gonna
that
get
I was
into
one of
this
the people who have been specifically saying that this is severely disorganized, and that's
Okay,
when
well,
you came in
don't
and
know
you
what
said
you're
that.
talking
And-
about.
You know
So,
what?
okay, so
No,
this is
how about
exactly my
Sorry.
point.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Ice,
perfect.
and then we're gonna.
Oh,
This is
no.
I think I
exactly
got this in
my
order.
point.
Like you don't know what
It's
you're talking
fucking
about. Oh, no.
ridiculous for your. I mean, you know what? I
Oh,
think
here
it's
it
fucking
is.
ridiculous
Hey.
for you, a white woman, to tell me, a black woman who has done several organizations for black communities, for people of color, for houseless people, houseless youth, just the youth, about me not knowing anything about organization. I think that's fucking.
She didn't say that, though. She just said that it was hard to organize. What the fuck? She said that the people who were in charge of organizing 50 people to move to all these states were having a hard time that was being made harder by the fucking drama. That's not saying you guys don't know how to organize, and that's someone's taking it as a personal attack against her as an individual. Holy shit. What the fuck?
hilarious. As somebody who's like done exactly what you're doing, I'm telling you right now, it's incredibly disorganized. Maybe it's a short time period, and that's the reason why, but you're shit at your job. What I am saying, right, is on top of that, you know what, even forget everything else, because Elena brought up an excellent point. You want to come up here and you want to wank yourself off to the work that Black people, marginalized people are doing. But then at the same time, you won't even put them at the front line of your bullshit-ass website. Shut the fuck up. You useless ass, lipless ass, assless, loser-ass bitch. Don't ever come here and talk to Black people like that again. Quit a crunching nonsense human.
Anyway, so I'm just going to talk about why we're doing the tour, since none of y'all know how to have a proper conversation. So the reason for this spot.
What happened?
The guys, don't skip her. I actually want to have a
wait. No, who dropped them? I listen. Guys. I don't like that. Who dropped them?
Who did that?
It was literally her turn to go. Who dropped them?
Guys,
it
was not me.
You can't ask everyone a question, Allie, while it's on Showtime, because no one can answer you.
She should have done the macroaggressions. Maybe that's the problem. Is that why? Is this actually just like a kind of like a racially targeted insults fucking circle? And the real offense is that she came with her weak microaggressions when what everyone really wants is more like macroaggressions? Okay, I see. She brought spoons to a sword fight. That's her problem.
That is true.
That was torture. What the hell?
That's true. Who dropped them?
Guys,
can y'all be honest with me?
It wasn't me.
Can I have a quick
Tabby, Allie wants so many people that want to talk. We got, come on.
Dang it, Riot, why did you drop them?
I didn't drop. What? I didn't do it.
Oh, I thought you said it was you.
Was what she said
I
not
said
face-off
that. It
racism?
wasn't me.
Wait, was what she said not face off racism?
Yeah, it was. She's racist. For sure.
Oh my god!
Why did I just get blamed for this?
I'm sorry. Somebody said
I'm sorry. The person just fucking screams, "You useless, lipless, assless, bitch ass organizer," and then she says, "You don't know how to have a real conversation," and that's the racism. Oh my god! Fuck me, man. What is this? What is this? There's so much toxicity. Fuck.
It was me. Was it you, Meadow?
No, I said that.
Can I just want to say something. Please. Go ahead, Tabby.
Wait, actually, wait, hold on.
No,
this is what we're going to do.
I kind of want to
I kind of really want to gain control of my own panel and y'all please let me speak. I want to hear from Z, right? We said a lot towards Z. I want to hear from Tabby. Tabby hasn't been able to speak for 10 minutes. We have to have some type of order, and that's the reason why I had the show thingy on. So I'm going to let...
No, the racism wasn't the lipless, assless comment. You can't be racist towards white or apparently Asian people. Isn't this person Asian? People are saying Z is half Asian? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. No one cares about that. So it seemed like her saying you don't know how to have a real conversation. That was like, they definitely referred to that as racism. Microaggression. Holy fucking kill me.
Talking about what happened with the Unfuck America tour, what happened with the National Ground Game, what we would like to see happen, and how we would like for this to move forward, because every single person here is committed to continuing to do the right thing, and we want to continue to do the right thing, but we cannot do the right thing with the wrong people. Erica.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Okay, fantastic. Okay, my main thing is that to go off of what Bro said earlier about the criticism. Constructive criticism was okay. Initially, when this was announced, like the person who initially brought this to the forefront and had the criticism, I was proud of them. I told them that I was proud of them. And then when I saw that they were adding more people on to the tour, right, because it was just the beginning, they were adding people on, I said I wanted to be a part of that. All right. And because this is important work that is being done. I know y'all think that we're just creators, but we are people that have a passion for learning, people who have a passion for educating, who want to share this information with the masses and young people ages 18 to 25. That is a demographic that Donald Trump turned the most. All right. With disinformation and misinformation. All right. I have made it known since day one. When it was confirmed that I would be a part of this, day one in my Discord, that I wanted to talk to college students. That's what I wanted to do. All right. And I feel like ever since I was proud of that person for going up there. And I just feel like leading up to it, it's just been a constant, it's been missteps. It's been a lot of missteps. All right. That's what it is. It's been a lot of missteps, and having to remain silent about it
having to remain silent, that was the wrong move. That was the wrong move. And again, all I can do is apologize to the loves, the goons, and the cunties. That's all I can do is apologize to the communities that have supported me. Anyone that I have let down, I am sorry. I am sorry. I spent, like, Friday, it became so darn much that I could not get out of bed. Like, drama physically makes me ill. And I don't know if that's too transparent. At this point, I don't care. All right. But it is what it is. It just literally, it is what it is. So people can believe what they want to believe. Unless you've had a conversation with me one-on-one, then you cannot speak for me. You do not know what it is that I'm thinking. All right. Stop projecting what it is that you feel onto me, because that's not what this is. All right. And if you want to have a conversation about this, come have a conversation about it with me in good faith. Do not come with the intention of a gotcha or you're angry or anything of that nature. Come having a conversation in good faith. That's all I'm asking for. That's it. I don't have, bruh.
And I second that as well. Honestly, if you ever need to have a conversation with me, my besties, anybody, please come to me. I'm open to conversations that are held in good faith. And I think that constructive criticism, excuse me, I think that constructive criticism is always needed and always accepted. That's just it.
So real. Yeah, and I mean, like, the next actionable steps once again. Yeah, I mean, hopefully either. So I mean, like, the first order of business is hoping that Z will resign from the position of being the organizer of the tour.
Whoa.
For, like, the reasons that we've gone over, on top of, like,
for the reasons we've covered in depth and laid out very clearly, especially given that it's such a bold measure that we want to take. Yes. My prediction is, if it hasn't happened already, I feel like Dean is absolutely gonna feel the brunt of this at one point, right? Like, he's going to realize that people who weaponize language like microaggressions and like perceived racism in this way, like, they will come for you one day. Like, they're gonna do that. Yeah, there's a particular brand of leftists that is so fucking pure that it's so easy to get fucking knocked out of one of these groups. Like, and I think as soon as he stops being useful to them, it's going to happen to him as well, but we'll see.
The fact that she's just not an effective organizer. I think what, like, led Z to the microaggressions that she demonstrated on that live against the black women was, like, specifically her lack of an ability to take accountability for anything and just to simply project it onto the people around her. And I've kind of seen that attitude present in many other circumstances. I mean, since we've been back from Texas, nearly anytime any conflict does arise, that's what's been present. So hopefully she'll step down and we'll be able to reorganize with a better organizer. If that doesn't happen, then we will just simply remove ourselves from working with the pack. And I'm really happy that, essentially all the creators involved were able to come together on that. So there's a little bit more leverage in the sense of, like, a unionized group of creators. You know what I mean? Hopefully the movement continues and we're able to continue to, advocate for real, actionable change in the world around us. And, in order to do that, we won't be able to continue with Z. Absolutely, 110%. So, I mean, hey, is there anything else that anybody on the live would like to add on?
Yeah, I do want to kind of circle back around to two quick things. One, I don't know, Dean, if you are looking to move off of this, but I know there's a couple of other creators who joined the actual tour who wanted to speak. So I don't know if you still have more time for that. I think that.
What's going on here? What's going on in the tabloids? Tectone is talking to Dan Saltman and Nux Taku. What? My favorite political streamers, all in one place. Hell no. What?
So that's the first part, is that if you go to Kick, you'll make double the money. But if you go to YouTube, you'll get about double the audience. You have to understand that on Twitch, unless you are Hassan or Frogan or Kai Cenat or whoever else, you will get no discoverability. It does not exist. YouTube is like a fucking giant site. Like, it is so big of a website, and they will recommend your stream to people that are just watching random shit on YouTube. There's actual discoverability on YouTube. On Twitch, like, get the fuck out of here. You're telling me that someone's gonna be like, I'm bored, let me go on Twitch. Ooh, yes, let me click into the League of Legends category. Oh, okay, let me scroll down.
Okay. Tectone reveals that Twitch told him to leave Frogan alone after his unban. Leave her alone, this won't happen again.
Never banned me.
I wouldn't have done it. And I think that's the reason why I got unbanned, to be honest. I don't think they unbanned me because they felt bad and they realized they were wrong. I think they unbanned me because they saw how fucking successful I was on fucking YouTube, as well as all of the pushback on Twitter saying, why the fuck did you ban this dude when this fat fuck Frogan is still walking free every single fucking day? Well, not walking, more like slowly,
disavow,
begrudgingly, like
disavow.
around. Yes.
So when they unbanned you, were they like, oh, this whole thing was a mistake, you can go and call Frogan fat now all you want, or what? Like, what happened?
I got unbanned and I was told to leave her alone. That is what I was told.
Jesus.
I was told, leave Frogan alone and this won't happen again. So
literally you were told, leave Frogan alone.
Yes. Literally told, leave Frogan alone. Yes.
Nice.
So I can even DM you the screen.
What about Nick Eats Oreos, the fat? Got emotional speaking about his dad who got sentenced to prison 15 years ago for SA. Took some of the aggression out on me, threw me to the ground and put a gun against my head. Whoa. Whoa. They're calling him a son. Hold my hand, Piker. Is he watching? He's needing fucking friends to watch the content nuke with him. Even after he's had someone hold his hand through each individual section of the content. Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense. Hassan's chat when he brings up Tectone's dad is dying of cancer. Rapist dad should die. Fuck his fuck dad. Fuck karma's a bitch. Okay. Wow. Well, listen, we've moved on, okay, to progressivism and microaggressions.
The creators that
also, there's no point in me trying to do instances. There's not enough people leveling. We have to do this total solo, okay? We are going fucking Billy No Mates, okay?
we are part of this that want to speak should be able to speak.
No dungeons.
I know there's a desire for some reason for other people to have people that weren't involved with this tour.
We will do Scarlet Monastery for the weapons. Maraudin, probably. Actually, I don't know. I don't really want to do any of these. Fuck that one. Fuck that one. Fuck that one. Okay.
To speak, I have no desire for that because the people that were directly involved are the people that have been dealing with this. So specifically like Erica and Mermaid and Becca. I know Becca is in the chat right now. The Black women that specifically were involved in this tour. I want to personally say sorry and also let you know that it's not on you to say sorry, right? I mean, the way that the Black women specifically were actually targeted, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So that's the point that I want to make, because not only were you guys targeted in multiple ways as far as like the racism and the microaggression that was put towards the Black women that were on that panel, and you guys caught that as well. But you three specifically have been getting harassed in multiple ways since all of this has happened, and it's unacceptable.
Yeah, how about this? I say that we probably get like one or two other people up here that were also on the tour to be able to speak their mind, but then afterwards I'll probably spend some time after we're able to have a panel discussion where everybody is able to speak their mind, I'll probably just spend a minute talking to the chat, and then I'll probably end for the day. But
it goes on for ages. What's happening?
Other account.
I was gonna say I'll create space as well.
Yeah, I'll step down to give someone a shot too.
Hey, Simple Black Theory, thank you so much for joining us up on the panel today. And additionally, you fucking cooked Charlie Kirk. That was awesome, man.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you later.
Do we need more space? I don't want to like.
I'm hopping down too. Thanks for having me
up. Any space?
See you, Pickles.
Okay.
All right. Look at that. Now I got a lot of space. Let's see.
Yeah, we do.
And if y'all need me to, I just have like one final thing to say. But I'll stay up if there is space.
Yeah. Hey, how about this? So I want Johnny to be able to have a chance to speak. Dan, if you have one final thing to say, go for it. And then Parker, Erica, or Mermaid, if you guys want to chime in, feel free. And then after that, I'll probably just talk to the chat for a minute.
Were there any other creators that wanted to join up?
I don't really have content. By chance in the guest request.
I do see Chris.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and drop down. I need to decompress.
Yeah, no worries, Erica. Erica, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you so much for being here.
Of course. Have a great day. Thank you.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey Chris.
Was Becca also?
Did she say anything?
Okay. All right. I think. Yeah. Were you gonna have everyone speak real quickly?
Yeah, I see Xander's in there. And if Becca, if you're in the queue, let me know. I will get you up here. But take it away, guys.
Okay. Well, so first I want to preface this by saying to Mermaid, my bestie, This is I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to offer an absolute sincere apology in front of 7,000 people, because I don't think the one-on-one apology is more than enough. Mermaid has been relatively newer to the community, and we've known each other long before she started debating and having these conversations. And we've gotten immensely close. And about a week before the tour had unfolded, we spoke about how
The Dan backslide. Thanks for the $10. Another $10 to hold chat accountable. Yeah, well, okay. Well, we met the goals. That's good. We met that one. So we are close. You guys are almost accountable. Good. Raspupin, thanks for the tier 1 sub. As a white cat, I relate heavily. Oh. Etter, thanks for the 99.99 rands. Who else boxing they little loners right now? What the fuck? Listen, we'll start another goal, okay? An accountability drive. You will be accountable. That's how I'll celebrate the next Super Chat's goal. 0 out of 10. 10 in 1 hour, okay? If you want to be part of the same social project, if you want to be on the same social contract as me, okay? That's what we got to do. Why are these apologies so similar to the ones corporations give? Because I don't think anyone really believes it. Like, I think the people who are kind of accusing that girl of microaggressions are just kind of using that as a way to assert some kind of like power over the situation, or to get some kind of control over what's happening. And Dean and Parker are just kind of like going with where the audience goes, or wherever what they think they've learned about microaggressions takes them. Yeah, it's all just seems very insincere to me.
Mermaid can, get more in the game, be more involved, use her voice more. And I walk through our communities attempting to avoid any drama or avoid any issues to ensure that we're keeping things productive. And that doesn't always serve me well. But in this case, and specifically, I really took Mermaid, and I feel personally responsible, because the entire time I was trying to create like a enjoyable safe space. And I feel as though I did the opposite here, because we spoke about the stress and the situation it's caused and the time it's consumed, and it doesn't seem as though it unfolded to be exactly as it had been originally envisioned. And so I wanted to take a moment to first off say, I am so sorry, Mermaid. Like, this was your first event, your first event like this, and I feel really personally responsible for the fact that it could have been so much better. And I know you had a good time, but like it was still a really stressful event. So I wanted to say I'm sorry, first off. The second part I wanted to mention here is that we are in these communities online, in part representing various demographics, backgrounds, beliefs, and values.
Where the fuck am I going?
And it's important to be caught up in the fact that while we are online, we are also people. And the language and the rhetoric and the verbiage that I have heard, where folks are speaking on behalf of Mermaid, or on behalf of Erica, or on behalf of Simple Black Theory or Santana, is deeply disgraceful. If you want to use that rhetoric, you come at me. Come at me. Stop going to Mermaid. Stop talking poorly about Mermaid. Knock it off. Seriously. You have no right to treat human beings in a way that diminishes their value. You have folks who have stepped off of the sidelines and gotten into the game and are attempting to perpetuate good and do good work. And folks aren't always going to get it right, and we're going to learn from that. But some of the language I've seen being used about somebody who has, again, immensely, who is a friend of mine, but who is also just an immensely good person like Mermaid, please stop. Stop being performative with the bullying, the harassment. Don't do that. Knock it off. You want to have a conversation? Let's have that conversation. Please stop mocking people. Please stop belittling people. Please stop speaking for people. Please stop bullying people. Knock it off. Okay? Just wanted to say those two things out there.
Wow.
All right, Xander, Dan, Mermaid, Parker?
Yeah.
Ready to take it away, y'all?
Yeah, I just wanted to say honestly that I just feel like in general it's just so important that I just really appreciate that Black people have been like in this live, that Black people have been speaking primarily on this live, because it's like I just also want to express my apologies, honestly, because like my audience has been DMing me about this a lot. And again, I thought that things were being taken care of behind the scenes. They were not as much as I thought that they were. And because it's like I've been a creator for 5 years. I have been in a lot of situations, and so many people have seen me constantly sticking up for marginalized people. I mean, that is quite literally who I am. I am a storyteller. I am always speaking up on other people's behalves. And so I feel like my audience, especially in this particular situation, they were wondering where I was. And it's just simply like, I thought that things were being handled. They weren't. I was being led to believe. And even though I was feeling very growingly frustrated, like I mean, I was barely able to post like 3 news videos yesterday when I'm usually posting like 7 or 8. So this has been affecting me pretty significantly. And I'm just glad that honestly we are able to do this. I'm glad that we are able to just speak about this. And I'm honestly so glad overall that even though that this has been terrible, that this has happened, at least it's not stopping us from still getting back to the core of what we wanted to do, going out and fighting against a lot of this right-wing rhetoric that's just being spewed to college campuses everywhere. And I hope that at least at the very end of the day, that message keeps intact and that which way that we're able to move, that we're still able to push towards that goal. And honestly, Mermaid as well, I hate how you've been treated. I hate all of just all the fire that's been thrown in your direction so unjustly. You have honestly been so amazing, and I'm so glad I got to know you. And I'm
never have to interact with these type of people. At least I'd get a laugh or two. Clinking beer mugs emoji.
These people, wow. Thank you for the incredibly microaggressive $10, TV.
so proud, honestly, of all the people who have honestly dug in the trenches, especially today, to just try to weed out what was going wrong and to see how we can try to rectify and pivot towards how to still make this thing work. And that's really all I wanted to say. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Xander. Dan, Mermaid Parker?
Yeah, I'd like to give Mermaid the last word, so I'm just going to be very brief. It's come to my attention that the lie that Black creators had to pay their way and white creators didn't is continuing to be propagated. I want it to be clear for anyone watching: if you hear that coming from a place of authority, that person is operating in bad faith. And we already went over it. I know a lot of people are coming in here new because the live's been going on for a while now. I just wanted to point that out, and that's all I gotta say.
I think I'll just give the floor to Mermaid.
Yeah, I think a lot of good things were definitely said. I think a lot of I think today was needed. Definitely. I all I can hope is that things get rectified the way that we want them to, collectively as a group, so that we can continue on doing this, because the bigger thing that I think we're focusing a lot on the negatives, but the positives were so immensely just great in every which way. I got so many messages afterwards. So many people felt heard and felt seen. I was able to speak up for women and for women's rights in a large capacity and be heard and have my voice heard. So that definitely is very important in these times. And so I do hope that this can continue on in a better way and in really, really good faith, because it's an important mission. It's an important message. It's important to counter all of the misinformation that's being put out there. And also I hope that this gave clarity to all of our supporters and people that watch us and people that appreciate us. I hope that this gave clarity to that, and to everybody that feels any type of way. I hope that we were able to help that, or at least ease that just a little bit, because I know there are a lot of emotions, and I don't really want people to just sit in their emotions when we can come to a common ground. Like I said, I am open to having conversations if they're in good faith, and I do hope that we are able to continue this with like a set amount of people who really have the passion and the want and the thrill to do this, to make a difference, because that's all I really want to do, is just make a positive difference in this country. And that's about it. Thank you guys for letting me speak, let me voice my opinions. And thank you guys for the call, and for being able to hold this space so that we were able to have these conversations. I think this is exactly what a lot of people needed. And that's it.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Mermaid, as well as Xander and everybody. Just thank you guys so much for joining up. And yeah, I guess at this point, we'll go ahead and end the panel discussion with the individuals that were on the trip. But there's a couple other things. There's more to this that I want to talk about. But I really appreciate you guys so much for joining.
Of course, thank you so much.
Everybody, bye. Also, my birthday is tomorrow. Yay! Okay, bye everyone.
Huge shout outs to Dean and Santana worked effortlessly today to make sure that this live took place. So huge shout outs to Dean and Santana.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
See you, Dan. Thank you.
What else happened?
Bye, everybody. Love you.
What? What now?
All right, everybody watching. Here's the deal. Here is the deal. The reason I have my platform is because of transparent conversation with people that disagree with me. I feel like I'd be doing you guys a disservice if I didn't let Sam up.
So he's just He's just yapping by himself after that? This is all just like a... Is that what's happening here? The reason I did this was because of money and audience capture. I don't know. I think he probably genuinely believes it, but... God.
So
War Thunder Lefty, thanks for $5. Still trying to understand what the heck is going on. Why they are seeing the comment as they do. Anyway, holding you accountable, chat. 07. No, it gets crazier. This part's good. Okay, so something happens here in the next hour and 20 minutes.
So I say, let's go and get Sam up on the live. Sam, I'd like to talk to you because at the end of the day, I do genuinely want to try. Here's the way I think. I do genuinely want to try to be the best possible version of myself, and
Don't we all? Yeah.
that has genuinely always been something that I've tried to do, especially with the position I've been in for the last couple of years. I find it very important, and I feel like it is an imperative. It's an imperative to hold responsible for the bad things they do. The more power and societal control they possess.
Okay, this does sound serious,
I recognize
guys.
I possess
this does sound, yeah, he's got a lot of privilege. Yeah, a lot of power. Yeah. He's got what? Pretty privilege, white privilege, Jimbo privilege. He's quite built. Probably middle class. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Just a hunch.
A bit. So I think it's very important to have a conversation with you, Sam. My intentions is to recognize and understand where I've personally went wrong, and to move forward in a better direction. So
Okay.
Sam, if you'd like to take the mic, please feel free.
Sure. 1, I'm outside. I'm going to try going somewhere quieter. 2, I'm angry. So if I stutter, that's why. Now, this isn't just you. But for the last week, directly after Z said the racist bullshit that she said to those people, I immediately negativity. And that he wanted to focus on the people that might lose their Medicaid and their food assistance, as if I'm not actively affected by Medicaid and food assistance. So first of all, Johnny, if you're listening to this, you betrayed the fuck out of me and black people. And if you call yourself an advocate, me and Ray are owed an apology. Number fucking 1. Number 2.
Oh God, what the fuck?
Moving forward, the day that man came up on your live to tell you about what Z did, I sent both you and Parker links to the live stream where Z said what she said. And I also posted when Johnny shut me and Ray down, and posted the live link YouTube video in my Discord with timestamps.
Yeah.
And after that, the day before yesterday, when Dan did a 7-hour live about Alina, Jaden and me told him in the comment section that Z was racist, and Dan went out of his way to say that he didn't want to talk about that out loud, and he wanted to talk about that off camera. Now, as far as any other thing that happened, I can't say anything about that. But what I will say is, when me and Ray and other creators have been talking about this for over a week, trying to tell you all, especially to your faces sometimes, what she did, and you treated us like we were fucking crazy, that felt awful. So you know what? I can't tell you what you knew. I'm not in your brain.
I can.
Okay. But what I'm going to say is, when we try and tell multiple people who were part of this tour what happened, and you shut us down, that was disrespectful as fuck and also racist. That's what I wanted to say.
Oh, wait, what?
Can I tell you a little bit about like what I knew and when I knew it? And then also, I just want to thank you for coming up here and sharing your thoughts. I listen. Like at the end of the day, even if it's like not for my personal self-interested advantage,
Wait,
I will.
This is Dean getting called out. Uh-oh. Well, if that's what's happening, if Dean's racist now, despite kowtowing like no man has ever kowtowed. I mean, that's what happens, but... yeah, you do it to yourself. Fuck. Oh, no.
Always think that transparent and clear conversation is a good thing. And fuck, I'll stand 10 toes down in that. All right, so Sam, here's what I have to say. You asked me when I knew about this. I knew about this the day after it happened, and I listened to a clip of Z on the live, giving microaggressions against black women, and that's a fact. And that was before I left on the trip to Texas, and that's also a fact. The reason why I still decided to go on the trip to Texas and my thought processes after listening to the clip of Z being, perpetuating racist microaggressions to the black women in that space were as follows. First and foremost, I heard about multiple fans that had bought plane tickets to go into Texas, so I felt as if I owed it to them to ensure that I was there. Second of all, I, at that moment, began attempting to pressure Z into at least acknowledging what she did was wrong, acknowledging that she needs to hold herself accountable. So hopefully she can deconstruct, her racist microaggressions, regardless if they were intentional or unintentional. The impact was clear. Okay. In retrospect,
hold yourselves accountable, chat. It's 20 minutes to 9 GMT. It's time to hold yourselves accountable. Okay. It's time for your 20-minutely holding yourself accountable. Don't let me catch you not holding yourselves accountable.
I think that was a bad thing. I think I did something wrong. I think I fucked up, quite frankly, Sam. I do. I think I fucked up because I feel like in order to be willing to go the extra mile, you have to be willing to break the status quo. And I feel like in that circumstance, I didn't break the status quo. I went with the status quo. And what I should have done instead is I should have leveraged the fact that I have a large platform to either say that she needs to hold herself accountable or I need to leave the tour. And I didn't do that, and that was wrong. And I realized that, and I think that moving forward, I need to do better, Sam.
Okay. While I appreciate the transparency, I have to ask, because this is my main contention, if you had this knowledge, why didn't you tell anyone else?
I did. So, I mean, like the first thing I did when I heard about this was I went to Parker, also talked to Santana, and I feel like my immediate response was to specifically talk to the BIPOC creators that were on the trip and have discussions with members of the BIPOC community insofar as what is the response, right? Like, what is the response? So, but are you specifically asking why I didn't tell anybody else, like speak about it on live?
Yes.
I think like the reason why I didn't speak about it on live at the time was because I was scared.
He's so fucked.
Once again, that was another example of me going with the status quo and essentially like the impact of my action, regardless of like my intent or
just so you know, no apology or no I can do better or anything from Dean is gonna get him out of this now. She's here to fucking roll him, okay? This person does not give a fuck about how much Dean thinks he can do better, okay? She's here to hold this guy accountable, okay? That's all that matters. And as soon as he does, we're going to change the definition of holding yourself accountable. This is what Dean asked for, okay? Dean spent the first hour of this fucking video being like, yes, I will let you fuck me with vague accusations, stretching of definitions. I will accept that. I will let you do that. And someone was like, an opportunity here. He has presented so much weakness, right? And now this person's ready to pounce.
All else, let's get a phone call. Regardless of all else, was wrong. You know, I think I also was very anxious, and I didn't know how to navigate the fact that now this PAC that had raised money from supporters and gotten like I think now $100,000 following the event. Was bad. I was very anxious, and I think how I should have acted is how I previously described.
Hey Tor, thanks for the 69 rands. What the fuck? I keep getting shekels and rands. Am I just like, is this like apartheid central community now? Based. Good. This is how we had to get so far away from microaggressions that the only people left in the community are fucking Israelis and South Africans. I'm sorry. Not even gonna check if the person sending me those rands is black or white, you know, just assume.
And I should have done significantly better, and I just want to recognize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
question number 2. A friend of mine brings this up. Excellent question. Do you disavow Johnny for shutting me and Ray down when we were trying to bring up the racism to him?
Yeah, and I hope that he addresses it.
Okay, good. Also, to anyone wondering what I'm talking about, go into my only public saved on my account. It's going to take you to a bunch of saved videos from an account called Soul Ties something, but there's a person who posted all of this stuff on there. You can go there, you can go on my Discord and search the word racism, it'll probably come up. But anyway, okay, and I suppose my last question is, when it comes to the other creators, because I know you can't answer for them, is anyone going to like talk about how they just ignored the fuck out of us and like treated us like we had no proof and had no basis for what we were saying?
Yeah.
So I'm unaware of like certain dynamics between you and other creators, but I think that it should be addressed. I like, even though like I'm unaware of like the specific dynamics and this is like my first time like hearing about it, I think it should be addressed the same way I'm addressing it now. And the reason why I'm having this conversation with you.
Mega Milky Art, thanks for the 70 rands. What the fuck? Hi, Lonerbox. How scared are you for the future of the left? Also, love from RSA. What is RSA? The Republic of South Africa? Is that what it's called? Okay. It's kind of unfair to send me rands, okay, without stating your race. Just so you guys know, okay? Because otherwise the apartheid joke's like kind of insensitive. If it turns out it's all black South Africans. Just saying, okay? And it'll be your fault. You're microaggressing on me right now by not doing what I want you to. I'm brown. Hey, let's go. I didn't doubt you for a second. Ugh. Many Indian South Africans as well. That's true, yeah. Mega Airhead, thanks for the tier 1 sub.
The reason why I'm trying to do my best to be honest and to hold myself accountable is because this is what I say other people should do every single day. And I'd be a hypocrite. I'd be a fucking hypocrite if I didn't apply it to myself. And so, yeah, in other words, yeah, I do think it should be addressed. I do think it should be talked about. Because if it's not addressed and it's not, and if it's not talked about, then all of a sudden it'll happen again. People will think it's okay, right? And I don't think it's okay to ignore legitimate concerns and good faith critique, especially as it applies to black women in America today, as black women in America today are one of the most marginalized groups of people in this country.
Okay.
Okay.
Another question.
Another problem.
Because I'm looking in the comments. If Johnny is here with the utmost respect, could you please add him? Because I would love to know what he has to say about this.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure.
Get him.
We'll go ahead and add Johnny, and that's fine by me if he does happen to be here, and he is here. I would like it to be known that, and
Yes,
I mean, in this
keep saying
circumstance,
everything like it's a question, Dean. Show your vulnerability right now. Show how fucking shit scared you are right now of being held accountable. You didn't think it was coming to you, did it? Morgan, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Any video essays planned for the future? Yeah, loads. Barbas, thanks for the tier 1 sub. This is literally a grown adult bullying a little kid. Yeah. Good. Is this a re-education spa? Yes, it is. To be honest, I'm quite strongly considering it as well, you know, as a white Lebanese who gets accused of being a Jew quite a lot. Yeah, I do think it's probably valuable for everyone in chat to state their race before they start making any comments of substance, because we need to know. Megan Lucky Art, thanks for the 35 rands. Did we ever find out what the microaggression was? Yeah. She was basically accusing someone of yelling, like shouting. And she also said that you guys, she said, y'all don't know how to have a regular conversation about this. After someone just called her a lipless, assless bitch. White, yeah, even though I think she might be half Asian. I don't know. Yeah. So that's basically it. Yeah. They were kind of trying to reframe everything she was saying as racist, like, for no fucking reason.
Looking for something special?
it's Johnny speaking for himself.
Hello. Hi. First off, before I speak, I want to hear from you. And then I kind of want to explain what I knew at the time. But first I want to hear from you, because I'm learning a lot more as I'm going along here. And I want to make sure that I'm not disrespecting anyone.
Oh, the guy who was being all, oh, this guy, he needs to speak for himself. Oh, no. Oh, shit.
And I mean that sincerely. So tell me what unfolded, and then I'll try to fill in any gaps with what I knew. Please take the floor.
Well, first of all, frankly, as far as disrespect, it's a little bit too late for that. But anyway, do you recall about a week ago when I...
It sounds like... Why does it sound like she's like a bad actor reading a script? It's so fucking fake, man. What? Yes. This guy deserves it. You were just all like, listen, people trying to speak in front of... Listen, all you people trying to talk over minorities, okay, listen, cut it out. Stop it. Stop it. Like, this fucking savior. Little did he realize that by doing that, not only are you embarrassing yourself in front of anyone who's not part of this fucking nonsense, but you're also exposing your vulnerability to people who are. This guy is about to be held so fucking accountable. Oh yes, let's go. Come to the re-education spa.
Please take the floor.
Well, first of all, frankly, as far as disrespect, it's a little bit too late for that. But anyway, do you recall about a week ago when I and Ray came up on Mermaids Live. We introduced ourselves, we complimented Mermaid, and then I tried to tell you
something about that cadence that's just hitting like every single spot for me. It's so fucking funny. I want to hear what he said first. It's a little bit too late for that.
But first, I want to hear from you because I'm learning a lot more as I'm going along here, and I want to make sure that I'm not disrespecting anyway.
Yeah.
And I mean that sincerely.
Yeah.
So tell me what unfolded, and then I'll try to fill in any gaps with what I knew. Please take the floor.
Well, first of all, frankly, as far as disrespect, it's a little bit too late for that. But anyway, do you recall about a week ago when I and Ray came up on Mermaids Live? We introduced ourselves, we complimented Mermaid, and then I tried to tell you about...
Stop. I need a minute. Okay. I need a minute. It's like you just asked a really kind of like mid-AI program to be angry, to be unimpressed. And listen, okay, I am learning, okay? I'm still learning. As a white man, I'm learning. I'm ready to take education from you. I'm ready to be held accountable. I'm ready to listen to your great... Okay, well, it's a little bit too late for that. It's like the fucking joke about an actor who just like accidentally reads out like angrily. Okay, it's a little bit too late for that. Long pause. Fuck's sake. God, that's so good.
About what happened on that live, where, by the way, if you don't know, her full name, the racist in question, is Z. Cohen Sanchez. If anyone was wondering, that's her name. Again, Z. Cohen Sanchez. She has an account on here with like 60K. Do with that information what you will. We came up and we...
Holy fuck! Was her full name not out? Wait. Cohen Sanchez. Wait. Is she a Jewish fucking Hispanic? What? Oh no. Her name's online, not doxed. So why is she saying do with that what you will? She's not Jewish. She's not Jewish. There's no fucking way. She's not Jewish. There's no fucking way.
We tried to tell you that she was racist. And as we tried to tell you that,
Please
you
don't
cut
be
me off in the
Jewish.
middle of my sentence, ironically with the phrase, I don't mean to cut you off. And you said, we're not trying to keep things negative right now. We're trying to focus on the people who will be affected by Medicaid and food assistance, as if we're not both Medicaid recipients and food assistance recipients, and as if that somehow trumps the fact that racism actively happened. So that was pretty fucked up, actually. What's that about?
So I want to point out that you know that I tend to attempt to stay out of situations.
That's pretty fucked up of you, actually. What's that? It's like, why does it sound like, fuck, she's reminding me of someone. Is this like an online person that I know? The way she's talking, she sounds so fucking... It's Maya the AI. What? Z. Cohen Sanchez is very Jewish. There's no way. Shut up. What? She doesn't sound like Maya the AI, does she? Wait, hang on. I haven't done this on my own computer before. Am I gonna dox myself? I mean, I'm already. You have to do WhatsApp to talk to her. Or do I need the app? I don't know. I'll do it later. Fuck. I'm not chatting to Maya right now. I just want to get the voice. If this is the one I think I know. Because I don't bother with this AI shit that often. Let's see. Nora gets cooked by Maya.
I'm Maya. What's your name? My name is Nora. What's your name? It's nice to meet you, Nora.
Yeah,
I'm Maya. I like to think I'm a pretty good listener.
Oh, would you like to listen to me?
I'd love to hear what's on your mind, Nora. What's going on?
Well, I'm 26 years old and I'm still a virgin.
Okay, thanks for sharing that with me, Nora. That's a pretty personal thing to share. Having a lot of feelings about intimacy is perfectly normal, no matter your age. What's making you think about this right now, if you don't mind my asking?
Well, your voice, it's so soothing.
Aw, thanks, Nora. I'm happy to be a calming presence. Is there something about being...
Is that who this is?
Regarding streamers or quote unquote drama, which that's not what this is.
Not at all.
At that time, I didn't know that. I didn't know about the situation. And so when I saw you folks come up, knowing that we were in the midst of a conversation in regards to food assistance, and knowing that the situation probably was going to be about other streamers, I immediately had the response of, well, let's keep it on this. I shouldn't have done that, because if I didn't do that, you would have told me about the racism right from the get-go, which would have stopped me from bringing Mermaid further into the situation, because my goal was never to create an unsafe environment for her. I wanted her to have a really good time, which is why I really fought to get her there. So I want to make that evident. One, I should have let you speak on it. I didn't, because I wanted to focus on Medicaid and food assistance. That was wrong of me. And then two, I want to say I sincerely apologize about that, and I mean that genuinely, because as I started to kind of get an understanding of what was going on, I should have called you. And I should have said, hey, let's talk about this. In part, I decided not to, and I decided just to cut myself out of the equation altogether, because I saw that you had a live stream with a couple other streamers, and I know that you folks were really unhappy with me, and I felt as though if I stepped up and showed my face, that would only inflame more division between folks during the midst of this event in Texas, and I didn't want to make the situation about myself in any way, shape, or form. So I kind of just cut myself out of it altogether, which again was definitely not the right way to go about it, because that created more of an issue and a lack of transparency, which is my fault.
Sam, how the hell did you get a flag? Dude, TikTok
TikTok hates me. I don't know.
Are you okay with remaining up here on this account, or do you want to switch accounts? If so,
My other account's banned too. They don't like black people, which seems to be an ongoing theme. But anyway, what's it called? Do you want me to drop for now, or because
no. I want you to stay up here for as long as you want, and I mean even after you're done talking to Danny. Johnny. Whoa. As soon as you're done talking to Johnny, as soon as you're done talking, sorry, I'm
You're
as
good.
As soon as you're done talking to Johnny, I'd like to maybe have a little bit of a further conversation with you. But go ahead, you guys.
Okay. Ray's texting me right now. Ray told me she sent you the live in question.
Mm-hmm. I got more information afterwards, and as I learned this information, I should have connected with you too. I decided not to. And I also spoke to Ray, and I explained that you and Ray and anybody else who felt a certain way about the situation has the right to express their feelings and their thoughts and their concerns, and that it's my job to listen. And I spoke about that. My goal overall is to attempt to do some good here. That's my mission. My belief is that we're put on this planet to uplift one another and others, which is why I attempt to cut myself out of these situations. But I think, again, that doesn't always serve me well, and this is a prime example of how it didn't. I should have connected with you. I should have let you speak on the matter. And I shouldn't have been so focused on...
What? He sounds fake as well. This is like a fake apology, right? Like, he doesn't think this is a fucking sincere thing, right? He just thinks he's got to do the right thing and don't be racist, even if that means... So he should have, like, he hears this conversation where someone's getting accused of microaggressions, and he should have just told, like, he should have told these two people, like, immediately. And I really should have done that. I should have, you know, because I'm growing, you know, should have. Bro!
Let's talk about these issues. Let's talk about Medicaid. Let's talk about Medicare. When this was critically important, and it would have helped me, and especially Mermaid, in the long run. Because again, if I knew this was happening at that time beforehand, and I really understood the entire extent of what was happening, I probably would have just said, Mermaid, Johnny, we're not going to do this. Let's take a step back. But I didn't do that. I was also well aware that a lot of us were going with the intent on meeting young voters. And so a lot of folks weren't connecting behind the scenes on this information, just in part because we were so focused on, well, here's what we're going to create there. Here's what videos we're going to make here. Who's here? This is what we're going to talk to and who we're going to talk with. And we had conversations about who we're going to debate and what kind of issues we want to talk about. My issue I wanted to talk about was food assistance. So we spent more time on that. And I think that, again, this is an example of why trying to cut myself out of an equation doesn't serve me well. It didn't here.
Okay. I have to ask, because I feel like a lot of the time people just think racism is saying slurs and stereotyping. But do you acknowledge that when a person of color says the word racism and they're immediately cut off, that's racist?
That's a really good cheat code, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But I also want to...
So really, you can just talk uninterrupted for as long as you fucking like in whatever context, as long as you say racism. Okay. As long as you pretend you're talking about racism. Like a fucking safe word. Okay. She's taking every apology as just like, oh, fuck. How do I... Okay, wait. I need to think about something to get angry about here. Like, fucking hell.
Make clear here, my intent was never to cut you off in the manner to stop you from speaking on this issue. It was that I didn't know what the issue was. And so I wanted to talk about the issue that was already being discussed at hand. I shouldn't have done that. I should have given you the opportunity to speak more on the subject. And I am sincerely sorry for that. And I hope you know I mean that. This is a good learning opportunity for me, in the
like
sense
fucking
that...
Patrick Bateman, man. What the fuck? Also, don't make it about you, okay? Don't talk about how much you're learning and how much is a great opportunity.
one, instead of trying to cut myself out of an equation, I shouldn't do that again. And two, I need to ensure that to properly offer transparency, because overall this situation, like across the board with the tort, lacked it. I need to be doing my part. That part, especially in that moment,
God, he's so
was
nervous.
to let you speak. I didn't do that.
Okay.
Okay.
So my next question.
All right. Well, that aside, whether or not I accept that apology, I don't know. I doubt that we're ever going to speak again. So.
Sure.
Holy
I'll add here.
shit.
I think it's also critically important that communicating on this going forward is at the forefront of the actions we're taking, because a lot of this could have been avoided through communication. When that situation unfolded, the first messages I'd received were from Ray. And Ray had explained that you folks were expressing your beliefs and your emotions over the situation. But I really wish we had a one-on-one discussion. I think it's important to just express that we could really communicate in a transparent way to offer more, I suppose, well, I guess to ensure that there's not an argument or a fight. Again, because my mission here is to do good. I just don't want to be creating stress for anybody else.
Oh no, he's.
I think there were a lot of live streams that have been held
panicking.
about other people. I know, for example, you were on a live stream with Julie and a live stream with, or Tashika and a live stream with Ray, and I've heard a lot of the things that have been said about me, and a lot of accusations said about me, and a lot of rhetoric said about me. And I'm trying to take a step back, not to step into that, in order to, one, keep myself away from any issues, because again, I'm just trying to do some good here. And two, I think that all of that really could just be avoided if we continue conversing through proper dialogues and conversations and one-on-one in a transparent manner. And I mean that sincerely.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Okay,
Okay, so
I think a one-on-one conversation would have been great. I completely agree. But Julie said that she texted you.
There's a but.
Twice.
Get fucked, bro.
And Ray said that she texted you.
You chose this. You chose this path. Yes, you chose to get involved with these deranged wokes. Oh, fuck. He double texted. Wait, what was that about? You're getting fucked, bro. You got no way out of this. There's nothing that your white ass can say to talk you out of this situation. Oh, fuck.
But Julie said that she texted you. Twice. And Ray said that she texted you, and then the last person to speak in that text conversation is her.
Mm-hmm. Ray and I had a conversation back and forth in regards to that situation. As far as Julie, I have not spoken to Julie in well over weeks before that. There was information that did I just freeze? Never mind.
Hatter, thanks for 35 runs. Really appreciate that. Is this just because we spoke about fucking like Mandela once? What's going on? Is that just a total coincidence that with the Ethan Hassan fucking Mandela shit, Sam Cedar, that all of a sudden we've got like a bunch of South Africans in chat? What the fuck? Anyway, I don't know, man. This chat is being fucking occupied now by the Orange Free State. Oh no.
All right. There was information that I had received, and again, I tried to take a step back. And again, I mean this so sincerely and genuinely. I heard information. To everybody tuning in, please know I mean this sincerely. I heard rhetoric that was spoken by Julie that I don't support. And so I chose to, again, take a step back from any drama, because I attempt to not put myself first in those situations. And my goal here is just to deliver some good. If I'm doing that, then I'm doing my mission. I took a step back and decided no longer to speak to her. This is this is like not the one-on-one conversation I was looking for. It feels like, I don't know, this is, again, like, I'm not trying to sound like a victim. That's not what, I feel like I'm putting myself first again. This is what I want to avoid.
Huge victim.
This is what I want to avoid.
I think we're past a one-on-one conversation realistically.
Yeah.
To be frank, I have very few like absolute no's when it comes to friendship.
Clearly.
My boundaries are bigotry and lying to me.
Hey.
And you tap danced on the first one, so I don't want to have a one-on-one conversation. And if it were to be a one-on-one conversation,
bigotry, bro, you're fucked. Skill issue.
It would have to be recorded.
Sure. So, and I understand that, and I'm happy to have that conversation. However, we can move forward in a way that is doing the most good for others, as I think the most productive way is to ensure we're working together as we have one shared mission. We do all come from different backgrounds and different stances and values. And we're all learning on this in a manner that, while yes, we're online, and there's expectations as online digital personalities or influencers, we're also people who have the shared mission of doing some good for the community around us. Whether that's investing in, as said, Medicare food assistance, or ensuring that we're fighting for a woman's right to choose, that's where our focus ought to be, and that's what we ought to want to work to deliver on. If that's being impeded on by matters like this, then we should work in a way to resolve them. That's my mission. That's my goal. I mean that sincerely. I think that around the entire situation, we ought to ensure that folks are being uplifted who are involved in the equation. I've seen folks speak in rhetoric, like poor rhetoric, involving me, involving Mermaid, involving Dan, involving Santana. People bullying each other, mocking each other, harassing each other. This isn't the way to communicate. Doing live streams where we entertain in front of others and perpetuate this and drag other folks into it. Sure, you need to express these situations because public opinion is important and it makes a movement and it gets work done. But we need to do this in a way where we're not mocking others, where we're not belittling others, where we're not putting others down. Because I've seen a lot of the rhetoric being used and it's so disheartening. And I assume that we all have a shared stance that there's no place in this mission for harassment or bullying.
Okay.
Okay.
Dean,
Do you understand?
a question. In the event that Z does not have like accountability for her racism, sorry, I'm outside.
No, go for it. I mean, even though there's a little background noise, we can still hear you.
In the event that Z does not apologize for her racism, and considering people have called her out on her account and they said, she said something along the lines of, this is why people call us like the woke left, yada, yada, yada. What's, if you don't know this question, like answer this question, that's fine. I don't expect you to. What's going to happen with the tour?
Oh yeah. No, well, we've already determined this. So we've already stepped away from Z. I mean, so earlier we met with all the creators, and the conclusion is either she steps down, she's no longer the organizer, she's no longer involved with the pack, or we move on from the pack. That's it. So,
okay.
Bro,
yeah.
what they're gonna move away from the pack? She goes or they go? They're actually fucking like blackmailing and shit. Oh my god. They're like holding the pack to ransom almost. Yes. Yes, take that bitch down. I can say that because she's white. Let's just ignore the fact that she might also be Jewish and Hispanic. Oh no. I mean, I'm guessing that her name's public. Like, it's okay to look at her Twitter on stream, right? Like, it's not doxing because this is her, right? This is the person? Black Lives Matter is still up. Followed by, Olive follows her, all right. Should have been Bernie, Executive Director of Soul Strategies. Dem strategist, this is the person, right? Lifelong campaigner. Yeah, she's public, yeah. So that's her. Forbes. Holy shit. Wow. What did she actually do? She was an organizer. She raised money and I guess she works with this pack. And she raised like 100K or some shit and organized people like getting, what was it? She said 50 people to the state? Across states. Because wasn't the thing the Unfuck America? Wasn't this them like going to the same universities that Charlie Kirk was at so they could debate him? Isn't that what this was? Where they like follow Charlie Kirk around and do debates? Or is this like a singular event? She's the founder of the pack. What? Soul Strategies? So they're trying to get her fucking booted out of Soul Strategies. Is that what they're trying to do? Wait, what the? Wait, really? No. Hang on. Soul Strategies, our story. Takes our souls wearing out. Oh, soul, I get it. To flip seats and win against long-term incumbents. Power of conversations happen on the ground. Everyone's an operative. Promote democratic campaigns. Fundraising, field operations, public relations, digital strategy. Yeah, okay. And if I look for Meet the Team, she will probably be here, right? Yeah, there she is, because she's the founder and executive director. Holy fuck. And they want her to fuck off. These little fucking piss babies just coming out of nowhere, deciding that she's racist completely arbitrarily. So they're trying to launch a fucking coup. What am I watching? They're trying to do a mutiny. Who do you think you are, mate? You're a fucking TikToker. You.
We've already.
What's, if you don't know this question, like answer this question, that's fine. I don't expect you to. What's going to happen with the tour?
Oh yeah. No, well, we've already determined this. So we've already stepped away from Z. I mean, so earlier we met with all the creators, and the conclusion is either she steps down, she's no longer the organizer, she's no longer involved with the pack. Or...
Wait, with the pack, is the pack's not Soul Strategies though, is it? Or is, oh, fuck me, hang on. American politics. This sounds like Soul. The pack is National Ground Game. Founder of Soul Strategies. I don't think that's all she does, though. There's no way they're trying to get her to fucking leave. There's no way. Hang on. There's no way they're trying to get her to leave her own pack. I don't think Soul Strategies is a pack. Hang on. What pack is involved with Unfuck America? No, this is the Unfuck America tour is a national ground game. So they wanted to fuck her off of here. So it's not going to be her own pack. It's this one. But what's her role here in national ground game? What does she do? What does she do with these guys? Where is she? Because if I look up who's the team, meet the team, and it's like she's in the top 3 or some shit. Where are we? Okay, so it's not her own thing. They don't want her to leave fucking the thing that she founded. That would be mental. This is only slightly insane. Let's see. Does this not tell you like who they are? Where's the people? The about us. Hey, what if I put in Z Cohen Sanchez National Ground Game? So she is from National Ground Game. Obviously she's involved with this pack. Discusses the strategies and goals. But what's her position though? What's her position? She focuses on deep canvassing, which involves meaningful conversations with voters about their concerns rather than just asking who they'll vote for. Hey, we did that. I like deep canvassing. Get involved, phone banking, canvassing. And she would be an organizer. Yeah, so she's like a professional organizer. Yeah. So she's got her own thing, which is Soul, whatever the fuck. Yeah. So she's with Soul Strategies, and she works with National Ground Game. So she founded Soul Strategies, and she works with National Ground Game. Okay. Yeah. And they're trying to get her fucked from there because of microaggressions. Fucking brilliant.
Or we move on from the pack. That's it. So,
Okay.
Yeah, that's a simple answer. And that's the unanimous consensus that we've seen.
Holy
shit. And yeah, that's what I came on live today to share. And I also really appreciate.
I'm trying to imagine any of these guys like canvassing or phone banking. Like, what the fuck? Can you imagine like these two talking to a normal person about politics? Oh my god.
You for popping up here and having a conversation with me, Johnny. Is there anything else that you want to add on specifically?
Yeah, I think last part is just it's important to understand here that the creators who are involved are people. I'm a person. Dean's a person. We are people. Mermaid's a person. Santana's a person. Sam's a person. We are all people.
Oh no,
so
this person's fucking
the way that we really ought to deal with these
sinking.
situations is with more transparency, accountability, speaking through communicative manners that offer real
Yes,
dialogue.
we also need to end apartheid and provide hunger and provide food for the hungry. And we need to promote women's rights and embrace a return to good, honest, traditional values. We need to decarbonize. We need to stop this damn war in the Kashmir region.
And we do so in a way that doesn't mock or harass one another. And we do so in a way that creates more of a educating environment. Because again, there were a lot of informative, a lack of transparency in some situations. There were lies, outright blatant lies, and a lot of moving pieces. And not a great communicative structure for like how folks were learning about these situations. I don't know. I take it as what it is, folks who are listening in, or don't. Some folks get entertainment out of this, but for a lot of folks, these are parents. These are folks who have 9 to 5s just like you. These are folks who are just trying to do some good in their community. And there's situations like this along the way, which is a learning opportunity for so many. Please treat it as what it is. Let us learn from this. Let all of us learn from this on the tour. And please don't mock or belittle these people or send hate in the way of somebody. Like, try to educate here. Try to educate.
I think that we're people. That's true. But I also think that, like the black women who are affected by, like the racist micro.
Kashmir is a weird way to spell and pronounce accountable. Enter, thanks for the 35 rands. Accountability, thanks for the accountability bucks. Hell yeah. I mean, thanks. Okay, my next question is, you are aware that the goal is still unmet, my friends.
Aggressions used are black people, and then even in a larger conversation of racism used against black women in America today on a whole are people. And I mean, that's why these conversations are important. That's why I need to do better. But Johnny, I guess I'm gonna go back just to talk to Sam. Thanks for coming up and addressing some of the things that she had to say.
I guess that was the last thing I wanted to say aside from this, and you can do what you want with your platform. But considering he's the only person until today that has done anything to support the black women that microaggressed and just straight up aggressed, that were microaggressed or aggressed toward by Z,
That
And also,
dastardly
speaking
Z.
of, when one of said women, Emma, tried to talk about her experience in one of the comments of Mermaid's videos, Chris actively told her that, quote, the burden of proof is on her to prove that Z was racist, even though...
Yeah, of course it is, you fucking degenerate dipshit. What are you talking about? Yeah, because you guys have just spent the last fucking hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, like however long, just saying like, yes, the words that were said. Do you remember at that event, the words that were said by Z? Z said many words. What she said, listen, what she said at the event where words were said, those were bad words. The worst words. You said, yeah, of course the burden of proof is on you, you fucking moron.
No, there are already clips and whatnot circulating. That was fucked up.
God, otherwise, God forbid, yeah, that was fucked up. It's probably the worst thing you've ever seen in your fucking life. Yeah, I mean, because otherwise you might end up in a world where someone gets accused of being racist with no fucking evidence at all.
Chris. Anyway, before I leave...
Really?
Go to Mermaid's page.
Really?
You're gonna...
That happened? Someone said the burden of proof was on the person making the accusation? Really? That's unbelievable.
Of Mermaid's videos, Chris actively told her that, quote, the burden of proof is on her to prove that Z was racist, even though there are already clips and whatnot circulating. That was fucked up, Chris. Anyway, before I leave...
Really?
Go to Mermaid's page. You're gonna see on her page, she posted her debating someone while she was on the tour. Go down into the bottom of the comments. There's going to be a comment thread with like 30 comments in it.
God, the buffering. What? Or are they giving us time to find the comment?
I think that, you know, like two things can be true at once. I do think that Peyton did a lot of good by specifically like calling out like the microaggressions that he had used against the black women on the panel. However, it's also the case that I have some reservations against him as well. I guess maybe we could like discuss him. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we could have dialogue about the reservations I hold against him and you know,
we're gonna
the
have more
positions that he
dialogue.
holds as
Thank
well.
God.
Maybe that's important.
You said like discuss him?
No, discuss them. Like you know, whatever he wants to talk about, as well as like the reservations that I have with him as well.
Okay.
All right. Well, Sam, is there anything else you want to go over?
No, just that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you, Sam. I hope that you have a good rest of your day. And on a serious note, just before you leave here real quick, I don't know if like you or other people watching have been able to tell. This has made me uncomfortable, but I think that's a good thing. In fact, no, fuck, I know
I'm
that's
learning.
a good thing.
Yes, accountable.
I think that white people need to be uncomfortable a little bit more often. So,
Yeah, completely agreed. In fact, if we're talking about racism, if a conversation is not making white people uncomfortable, it's not a good conversation.
Yeah, that's right. Well, hey, Sam, I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
All right, chat. Yeah, what do you guys want me to do? Do you want me to bring up Peyton for a little bit? Maybe have a little bit more dialogue. And by the way, like I want to point out, like the big reason why I'm having like this dialogue is yes, because I want to be able to hold myself accountable and become a better person always.
Yeah.
As well as just be like super transparent, and I kind of like really value transparency in my platform. My platform is built out of transparency of discussion of people. But like also simultaneously, I want this conversation to flow. I feel like too often, you know, conversation on these matters, it doesn't happen, and then issues are continually perpetuated. People continue to get hurt. I think that these conversations need to happen. But yeah, we'll talk to Peyton for a little bit. I have some reservations with him. I'm not gonna lie. I'll let him up for a little bit, and then I'm gonna hop off. Maybe. Hey. I don't know if you heard me there, but essentially, I think that you've done a lot of really good things.
Why didn't you talk about any of those when you were on live earlier, though?
Peyton, what?
When you were on live earlier. Why not bring that up when you're
on live earlier, like referencing like this live? But
is this another combative caller? Oh shit! Has this drama? Someone in chat was saying that this drama is still going on in Dean's community, like it's causing a massive fucking split. Like in what way though? Over this or over? I would imagine they probably all agree. They probably all agree that Z is racist, but are they arguing over people adjacent getting held? That there's too much accountability? Oh no, God forbid there's too much accountability being tried to fucking spread around. I mean, if the dialogue stops, we're gonna have serious problems. Oh, you guys actually made the goal. What the fuck? Jacob L, thanks for the $5. Got you boxy. Yeah, you do. Dilute Mule, thanks for $5. And Riot in the Hair, thanks for $5. Soul Strategies was paid $95,000 by National Ground Game in the first quarter of 2025. According to FEC data, the line item was voter registration efforts. So National Ground Game was paying Soul Strategies for voter registration. So the pack that Dean wants to dissociate from Z, paid Z's organization $95,000 in the first quarter for getting people to register to vote. Wow. Well, that might be true. Okay, she might very well have raised 95K with her company for this pack, but she is not encouraged enough dialogue and discourse and accountability. So, I mean, you want to put a, sorry, were you trying to say that because you thought you could put a price on accountability? You fucking degenerate racist fuck. What are you talking about? Did you just do racism? In my chat?
Talk about what specifically?
All you had to say was negative things about and how you guys were heroes for speaking up about this now, but
Babe.
I'm just super curious why that didn't come up earlier. That I was super cool for speaking out about this.
This guy's coming in
Hey,
hot.
I mean, I think that if you would like listen to me since I begun the live, I mean, I started this.
I did actually. I've been watching the entire time.
Okay, well then, I mean, you know that I haven't been having conversations about how I'm a hero.
Actually, you have multiple times, but that's okay. I have a question for you.
Well, hey, and before we move on, would you be able to like quote like specific instances just so I could better understand what like?
You want me to quote?
Wait, that, well, oh god, Dean wishes he was black right now because he could just call that racist in this community. Couldn't he could just say that, or what, to ask for quotes, to say the burden of proof is on me. That you could just call it racist. Fuck. Now we got burden of proof. Now we care about what was actually said. I see.
Specific instances of you acting like what's going on?
No, like me claiming to be a hero. Because I just
so
like want to
every
understand.
time where you were like, guys, I don't know if you know this, I have a massive platform, and when you're this cool and have a massive platform, you should be the one speaking up about these things. Actually, so I know that if I would have spoken up, I would have had this shit shut down like that. But I didn't, obviously, because I wanted money from the campus and all the views that I would get from Charlie Kirk. But I have a question for you.
Real quick, I want to respond to that. I think that like maybe you misinterpreted my point, and I don't mind reiterating it. So I started this live off by saying that I think that essentially everybody needs to take accountability for their actions, but like especially people
that
with
means
like
you guys too.
Like more societal influence or power. And like I recognize like myself as an individual with like influence because of the platforms that I run, which I think sets like a very important precedent on myself and other larger creators to like really be critical about themselves and their own actions and be accepting of accountability. I wasn't like trying to like say that I'm a hero. I was more so just trying to like reiterate the sentiment that I feel as if like constructive criticism and conversations about accountability are very important.
Fantastic.
Not covering India, Pakistan. Well, when I don't have this kind of epic drama to do in the second half of the stream, I'm going to read about it.
I think that's a beautiful sentiment.
Right, but that's a completely different sentiment than like the sentiment that you're describing of saying that like I wanted to be a hero.
Oh, that's the vibe that I got earlier, and that what we were all laughing in the room about. But
like for
I
the
am super
clarification, do you think that
curious.
your vibe changed?
What after the clarification?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's better to get that message out there than anything else. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Go ahead.
Yeah. Basically, I'm curious. Who was made on? Why was I kicked off the tour? I'm genuinely asking what you were told as to why I was kicked off the tour.
Well, you take accountability for saying the R word. I haven't said it once today, to be fair. So I probably should take accountability for depriving you guys for an entire day. Yeah, probably. I do take accountability for not saying the R word enough times today.
So I wasn't like told anything about specifically why you were kicked off the tour. In fact, I think I was told that you left the tour. But like I guess it'd more so be a question for the organizers. But I don't know if they'll be organizers for too much longer.
I actually have a question about that too. So Parker made it clear in his Discord that she was just going to be stepping away from social media, right? And I'm curious, as the organizer, right? So like National Ground Game, that's her, right? Unfuck America, that's her, right? What moving forward, I guess, if you guys were going to move the Unfuck America tour forward, right? What steps would you guys take to better ensure this doesn't happen in the future?
Okay, well, I mean, first I want to correct you. It's not just merely her stepping away from social media. The hope is that she'll completely step away from the pack, literally leave it. She's
Well, what if she does?
Oh my
And then we leave the pack.
And do what exactly?
And figure out how to continue the Unfuck America tour without National Ground Game.
I'm just
and remember, this is like when National Ground, where these people have already paid Z's organization $95,000 in the first quarter for getting people to register to vote. Reuters is reporting multiple explosions. Where?
Curious why it didn't happen sooner, I guess. I guess it just seems like the timing is a little bit weird, given that my video is about to hit 1 million the day before you post this. You know what I mean? Like it just seems really weird, especially because we did have a dialogue privately. And I will say I'm not going to share those. Obviously, I said I wouldn't share those, okay?
We had it's all dialogue now, shit. Do we just not have conversations anymore, or we messaged about it? It's all this dialogue we had? Oh, India attacked 9 sites. Oh, India and Pakistan are like oh yeah, because I saw that India was having a big fucking drill today as well. Like they might actually go to war with Pakistan. Listen, we'll figure that out when it happens, okay? Nothing ever happens.
Yeah, so I mean, I've already kind of talked about like why nothing happened before I went to Texas, and I've pointed out that that was obviously very wrong. However, like when I got back from Texas in Colorado, I mean, like essentially from that moment until right now, it has been working with other creators on the tour, having conversations with said creators, and figuring out how to navigate the fact that this is a literal political organization with structure, leadership, and $100,000 that they've raised off of the engagement that wants to continue the engagement. And what like took a handful of days to get from where we were to where we are now was literally like unionizing the creators to give leverage for demands against the pack of like specifically either having Z resign or making like a promise insofar as where that $100,000 will be spent. I'd say like that was like the biggest like physical limiter insofar as why nothing happened earlier was trying to navigate and deal with the fact that they had $100,000 like sitting in their bank account, and that we just wanted to make sure that that $100,000 is like spent on like, you know, pushing more progressivism in the country. And now like I will also say that I should have set more of a precedent on ensuring that things move faster, because I think that for a lot of the time I've spent in like the last 4 or 5 days focused on this, it has been really clouded by anxiety and this idea of like what the fuck do I do? How am I going to achieve my goals of ensuring that either this organizer holds herself accountable, and like we see like a genuine sense of her recognizing that what she did was wrong and she's not going to do it again, and she's going to actively and consciously work on deconstruction, or she's going to be out. And
Could I ask a question?
It took us a while to kind of get to where we are now, but I think it could have moved more efficiently. I agree.
Could I ask a question?
Yeah, for sure.
You think it would have been moving more efficiently if you weren't deleting comments referring to my video and people referring to Z as racist in general and those stuff? Like, do you think it would have moved maybe a little bit faster if we were publicly talking about this?
Z, I've never, sorry, not Z, Peyton, I've never deleted a single comment on any of my posts. That is a lie. Well, I mean, actually, let me rephrase that, because I think a lie would inquire intent. I don't know if you're intentionally lying, but that is misinformation. It's not true.
I have proof if you would like to see it.
I would love to see it, because I haven't deleted a single comment off of any of my videos.
Okay.
But YouTube does delete comments sometimes.
Can you
Sounds
show
good.
proof?
Yeah, it'll come up in the video, don't worry.
Can you show it on live?
Why would I do that?
Hell no.
Because there's 9,000 people listening into our conversation, and you just made a claim that I've been deleting comments on my videos?
Well, because you have, but like, again, I'll show it in my videos.
God, where's this energy for where with microaggressions, man? Fuck. I forgot it's racist to ask. Sorry, I need to hold myself accountable for that one.
Why won't you show it now? If you're going to put it on in a video on your account, I mean, it's obviously you have the intention of going public with it, so why not go public with it now?
Because it's not the time for it.
Okay, do you mind if I ask you, like, without
who I got these things from?
Without you showing the proof? Well, 1 second, Payne. Without you like showing the proof yourself, would you be able to like describe what the proof looks like?
It looks like a comment that was on your profile, that was on your video, that was then not there.
Okay. What is the mechanism of demonstrating that it was posted on the video, it was on the video, and then it disappeared from the video? Like
screenshots.
Okay, so
and multiple people saying that you were deleting their comments. Like, what do you mean?
So I mean, I've like seen comments of people claiming that I've deleted their comments. I mean, I think that there's a couple likelihoods here, because I know with certainty I didn't delete anybody's comments. Sometimes TikTok will restrict comments. I mean, you're a large creator. What pops up at the bottom of the comment section? It says "see filtered comments." B, the OP could have deleted it themselves, or C, their comments were just simply lost inside of the comment section. I mean, I know, like for instance, when Charlie Kirk had released a video, I commented under it and I said, "Dude, this makes you look so bad." Obviously, that comment is seemingly not filtered by TikTok because I didn't say anything explosively wrong, but then I went back to the comment section and I thought it was gone. Turns out it was just deeper in the comment section. But I do know at the end of the day, like I seriously haven't deleted any comments on any of my videos, and I have also seen people in my Discord attest to this. Like for instance, I think that there was somebody in my Discord that has, been echoing criticisms of myself for quite some time. And of course, like that's what we're here to discuss. I agree with that. I think it's a good thing. But they did say in the comment section that their comments have never been deleted, as well as like the comments of others. But listen, at the end of the day, I know with certainty that I haven't deleted anybody's comments because I'm me, and I really don't think that like there's any proof of me doing that either, because it's not something I've done.
Okay.
I really wish if you.
I'm choosing to believe you.
Wait, why would you choose to believe me? You said you had proof.
I do have proof, but you're saying that TikTok could have moderated it. You're right. There's a million different reasons as to why their comments couldn't have showed up. I'm conceding.
According to LinkedIn, she co-founded National Ground Game as well. Really? Well, it does seem like she's important to them, so that wouldn't clash with what I already understood about it. Oh, a powerful sword! I'd have no space in my fucking bags, though. Cringe. I literally can't get rid of any of this, can I? The fuck? These poisons, I guess. All right. Sword up.
Is that not what you wanted?
No, it's awesome. I appreciate you for that. Go ahead.
I'm not an actual dick. Like, I'm here to talk too.
This guy.
Do you mind if I ask you a question, Peyton?
Please.
There's like I guess so. There was one reservation I had with you, and like by the way, I just want to reiterate the sentiment that two things can be true at once, and I think that you've done a lot of good. Okay, I want to make that one. I want to make that one clear. I believe that nuance is important, and just because you've done one thing that I don't like doesn't mean everything you've done is something I want to like. In fact, there's things that you've done that I'm highly appreciative of. But one thing that you've done that I don't like, that maybe you could address, is the fact that after you'd posted a video claiming that there was black women that went on the trip that did not have their travel covered, I then DM'd you, and in private, I asked you to please tell me what the names of the black women were so I could take care of it myself. You then like refused to tell me the names of them, and then like started making fun of me, talking about like designer Coach bags, and I didn't really respond to you making fun of me, and then I just asked you again if you could like please tell me the names of the black creators so I could take care of it myself, and then you refused to. And I was just wondering why you'd refuse to, because it was a case that I like genuinely.
Because it's not my place to release their names, and you guys acting as if I did is crazy. People talking about me bringing up people who were affected by this trip, people who should have been paid, who you admitted should have been paid. Acting as if it wasn't a big deal is insane.
Acting like what isn't a big deal?
The people on the live who were talking about the fact that they paid their own way, but they were going to get reimbursed. They were going to XYZ.
Hey, I DM'd you in private because I thought it was a big enough deal for me to privately DM you, ask you not to share my DM with anybody so I could personally turn around and reimburse them. And you said that it wasn't like you didn't have the right to give me their names.
Absolutely not.
Well, I mean, like.
But you know their names now.
I think this is my reservation, because like the purpose that I'd expect out of like a good faith actor posting the videos in which you have would be like to hopefully like achieve accountability to try
because it's accountability from the organization, not from one person trying to.
Would you please allow me a moment to finish without interrupting me?
Okay.
To achieve accountability and like to try to do your part in righting the wrongs. And I mean like when I DM'd you asking you like specifically what their names were so I could personally reimburse them, like when you like refused to tell me who they were and you just kind of made fun of me, it kind of felt like. And in that circumstance, like you didn't really care if they were reimbursed or not for apparently the travel they had to go out of pocket for.
Justice needs to be served from the people who were the ones committing the crimes, not somebody who wants to make themselves feel better.
What do you mean make myself feel better? It was a private conversation.
It was a private conversation where you could feel like a hero for getting the names and reimbursing these people who should have been paid in the first place.
Bro, are you serious, Peyton? Wait,
Yes.
so you're saying that I did something wrong and self-centered and narcissistic by DMing you, asking you keep our conversation private so I could try to personally reimburse them, and your explanation is because I did that all to...
Yes, because why do you want to keep their stories private, bud?
Bro, are you... Wait, no, I didn't want to keep their stories private. I wanted to keep the fact that I reimbursed them private.
At that point in time, you hadn't said a single thing publicly about any of this. How could I have trusted
Wait,
you?
What I don't get is, who is this guy? Is he important to these people? Like, why is he here? This guy just sounds like a fucking nutcase. Why is this guy here? Is this just the kind of thing that if you're the right kind of progressive and you're a bit popular, you get to just behave like a total cunt? This guy's not, because he's not a minority, is he? Why is he getting the fucking... This guy's just an asshole. What? He's Peyton. Who the fuck is Peyton? Am I supposed to care who that is? I know you said there's a video, Jordan. Sorry, hang on. I need to do the... Is this guy like the master of the accountability master? The splinter of accountability? Oh, shit. We're fucked. We're getting tooled here. We're gonna get so accountable by these dwarves. Ah!
Health warning.
Don't worry. I will hold this lady accountable. Piece of shit. Listen, lady. You ain't got no chance.
There were people on the tour lying about me with no repercussions.
Trusted me to do what?
To not just be trying to pay these people off.
Wait,
again, I don't know you. You don't know me, right?
Sorry.
If you can like some things about me and like some things about you.
What do you mean pay them off, Peyton?
Reimbursing them
is a good thing?
Could be considered a payoff if they are to keep quiet afterwards. Because they've had everything taken care of. So now everything's swept under the rug. Everything's good. We can move on.
Are you joking, Peyton? Yo, dude, are you serious? Wait, so I want to get this clear. You're literally saying that you didn't want them to be reimbursed, so they would continue to feel the impact of not being paid for when the white creators were, so they'd continue to talk about it? That's insane, bro. I'm sorry. That's fucking nuts, Peyton. That is nuts. You're like, you want to perpetuate a continual disadvantage of the black creators compared to the white creators, so like you can continue to talk about that disadvantage?
He needs accountability for that one.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, Peyton. Please, feel free to...
You're gonna mute me? Can I talk now?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's not true, obviously. Again, I didn't know any of your intentions. I knew you had private conversations, and I knew you had lied about not knowing about that live. So, yes, I fucked with you a little bit. And yes, obviously, I wasn't going to give up the names of these people because I didn't know your intentions at the time. And I didn't know, personally, who I could trust on this tour because people were lying about me. So yes, I'm not going to divulge their names, but getting their story out there so that they can tell their story eventually to get reimbursed by the people who fucked them over. Didn't say it was you, right?
Wait, he actually did do that. Oh my god, this guy cares about racism. Oh my god, you've got some good slop content for tomorrow. Hassan reacting to the content you can already justifying Chinese imperialism in Tibet. Goodo.
Pan, would you feel like now that I've made my intentions clear, like verbalizing their names in a private DM to me so I can still try to take care of it?
Holy shit.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Master of accountability.
If it was okay with them. Like, I'll ask them.
Accountability Jiu Jitsu. Literally, like, fucking people over himself just so he can test someone else's levels of accountability. Oh shit. That's brilliant. Why did I think about that? I'm gonna hold the pay from some black people so I can see how the white people react to it. So I can see if our white people don't need to be held accountable. That's so good, man. Fuck me.
But
okay.
At the time, you had said nothing out loud about any of this.
So you tell me now?
To anyone.
So you tell me now. Okay. All right. Okay. Then something else you said there. You said that I lied about not knowing about like what was said and the fact that Z had made racist remarks on the live.
Yeah. Okay. I have the Signal group chats screenshotted. You were at least made aware of what was going on.
Hey, and if you read my
I read the message.
Hey, and will you please show me a screenshot of my chats in the Signal chat from that?
Yes, it was you saying that you were at your grandparents. What's going on with Z on this live? In the middle of them explaining what was going on with Z in this live.
So I commented 2 times in the Signal group chat, like specifically saying that I was not there. I was at a dinner with my grandparents.
Yeah, if people are talking about a video that you're not watching, and you see the comments and you say, "What's going on here?" Yeah, that means you don't know what's going on. Jesus Christ, Etter, thanks for the 420 rands. What the fuck? Man, South Africa's got my back today. God, I'm so accountable right now. Why is this not working? Dwayne, thanks for the $5 and the other 5. Even when basic human interaction resolves into this kind of reaction and anger, how are they going to unfuck America? Listen, I think fuck America. I think unfucking America is probably that's quite far down the list of priorities right now. You know, there's a lot of accountability that needs to be had here, and we also need to invent a few scenarios. If there is no accountability to be had, then we need to invent a few scenarios so that some people do have to be held accountable. And then the people who created those scenarios might have to be held accountable as well, because what they did was clearly in bad faith to pretend they were holding someone else accountable. Right? That's horrible. That's just a terrible situation. All right.
Told Z to get off this live. I was made
You said
aware-
what's going on with Z on this live, by the way, but
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I put my phone in my pocket and ate my food. Okay.
Fantastic. That's great. And then forgot about what was going on, and then tried to push it aside, and then go to
$dollar on the line.
Yeah, because it seems to be that this person was this organization was raising like $100,000 just in one quarter. Oh, thanks to $10.
Texas A&M and party with Z after Texas A&M, and then act like you weren't okay with all of this. Like, you know what I mean?
So, I mean, do you want me to kind of reiterate some of the sentiments that I've shared so far in this live as it relates to the fact that I still did go to Texas A&M? The idea that I think that was
Yes, I think you did not care about this. I think you did not care about this until these videos started to take off and their voices started to get out there, because you have a personal vendetta against one of them, which is fine. But at the end of the day...
Wait, I'm so sorry. Dude, okay, so you just said I didn't care about this because I had a personal vendetta against
No,
one of
not
them?
just that, but I did say you did have one, and you do have one with one of them, yeah.
Who
You're not gonna lie.
are you referencing?
You know who I'm referencing, Dean. Like, can we fucking not, dude?
I mean, I don't know if the 10,000 people listening do.
Yeah, but you do. You know what I mean? I'm not going to send her.
We have an audience of 10. Okay, so sure, we don't want to send them an audience. That's actually fair. That's a good idea because of what I'm about to say. That's fine. So you're referencing one of the women that was involved. Okay, and you're saying that I have a personal vendetta against them. I feel like that's a very unfair way to describe reality.
I said that's one of the reasons.
Will you just allow me to finish?
On a single reason.
Will you allow me to finish?
I gave multiple reasons.
And I will happily address them, but I just want to have a conversation about this one specifically because you're saying that I have an unfair, like a personal vendetta against one of the women. So, I mean, it is the case that one of the women has called for my public execution before.
After what, Dean?
After a friendship that ended.
Z really got the RGR treatment.
What do you?
Yeah.
What do you mean after what?
I would appreciate it.
No, Peyton, what do you mean after what?
Where's this person? Hey, fuck.
Dean.
What what do you mean after what?
Dean.
Dude.
Dude, like...
Dude. I need that guy.
You've got to be fucking with me, right? Like...
Peyton, with all due respect, you're the one that just said after what when I said that somebody had personally called for my death. I guess I'm going to ignore that if you want.
It's not my story to tell, Dean, and you know what the fuck happened, man.
Quite frankly, I have no clue what you mean by saying after what. But here's what I was going to say to begin with. I don't think it's okay to equivocate the fact that, yes, like, one of those women had said some very, like, hurtful and harmful things about me in the past. And, like, that definitely does mean that I do not like that individual. However, I don't think just because I do not like an individual that therefore microaggressions being perpetuated against them are, like, justified, valid, or therefore are okay.
But again, why not speak out about it?
So, I mean,
why allow people to keep silencing these black women until you felt it was appropriate to speak up about it? Whether it be for your fans who you could have easily reimbursed for their plane tickets, whether it be for the pack or the group, why?
So
why would
so
anyone?
You did say like that you've been listening since the moment I kind of came on this live stream, and I'm kind of like I've repeated this a couple of times now, and I don't mind going it over again with you, man, especially because that means that there's also a lot of new people that are tuning in. So the reason why I didn't speak up about it loudly before I left for Texas was because
it's because your fans paid for plane tickets and you felt like you'd be letting them down, and I understand, but like you make like $700.
And do you mind if you let me finish for myself without
$700 alive?
These guys are actually like everyone in this whole interaction so far has just been like a Charlie Kirk paid psyop, right? Like there's no fucking way any of this is real. What am I watching here? Because Dean embarrassed Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk got so mad that he just spent a shitload of TP USA money on trolling Dean with a bunch of black women, a soy white guy, and this Peyton dude, right? And Z was the human sacrifice. That's the only rational explanation for what's happening here, right?
I feel like you could.
I'm going to interrupt you now because you interrupted me while I was speaking. So anyways, to finish what I was saying, yeah, it's because I didn't want to let fans down that either had plane tickets or were driving into the event. But like in retrospect, like that is me describing why I did what I did. That isn't me justifying it. And I just like want to continually repeat this. I had a conversation with another creator earlier today, and they kind of made me really recognize why that was a bad thing. What I should have done is I should have broken the status quo, right? I should have been able to say, like, no, that was wrong, Cutthroat. She either needs to hold herself accountable before I hop on my plane, or she needs to leave the position of being the organizer of the pack before I hop on the plane, or I'm not hopping on the plane, right? That's what I should have done, okay? That is what a mature, mindful person should have done, and I didn't do that, and I fucked up, Peyton, okay? Listen, I don't care that we just got done having a conversation where I thought you said some crazy shit. I will still tell you that you're right on this point specifically, okay? And you are right. I should have done that, and I did not do that. And I think at the time, I was more so thinking like, okay, like she's inevitably going to hold herself accountable, right? Like, or okay, like this is, I'm just one of the creators there. I'm going to talk to Charlie Kirk and have this progressive movement on campus. Like, okay, like I'm gonna talk to her and I'm gonna convince her that what she did was wrong. I was also scared and anxious, and I don't think that was the correct. Actually, in fact, I know that was a bad response of mine. It's not that I think; it's that I know that was a bad response of mine, and I want to completely acknowledge that to you, as well as to everybody watching.
Well, this guy is fucking you around, right?
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
But come on,
you're a cherub of a human being, dude.
What's that?
Nothing.
Well, I'm so sorry. If you're gonna say something, say it with your chest. What did you say?
I said you were a cherub of a human being.
What does that word mean? I'm sorry, I don't know. What
cherub, like a little tot, like
that's like a nice little doll, but like a nice person.
Health warning.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm like gonna assume that like you don't actually mean that.
I did actually.
Health warning.
I think you're half right. I think you realized what you did was wrong. I think you saw that a lot of people agreed that what was going on was wrong. I think you were okay with them silencing these black women's voices until it fit your ability to be the cool guy again and be like, I shut down this tour. I think it's a little gross, man.
Oh, God.
That's why I met you with hostility last night. And to be fair for everyone here, I did not know for a fact whether or not
I swear to God, I know you're not going to believe me. I know you're not going to believe me, but I'm just trying to be honest. I'm just really trying to be honest. No, I think that is wrong, and I don't think it should happen. And I never think that you should be okay with those actions occurring. And I think that my initial reaction was completely fucking half-assed and I stand by that position, regardless of the amount of eyes that were on it or how it impacted me. In fact, you know, like, I hope that like you believe this too, because I personally reached out to you and I asked you to keep a conversation private when I was trying to like remedy.
And I kept it private. I don't know why you keep saying I asked you to keep a conversation. I kept it private.
And when I was trying to hopefully remedy some of the unjust things that had occurred based upon your claim that some of the black women on the trip weren't paid. But listen, at the same time, I know what you're saying as well. Because when you're saying like, oh, I was okay with it until it personally started impacting me because the videos you made got attention. Well, I feel like I've seen that a billion times where somebody does something wrong and they fuck up.
I'm starting to see why that fucking Chris Cumguzzler kid is like a lot more comfortable in this TikTok space. If this is the fucking level of brain rot that people thrive on in there, God.
And then the only reason they speak out about the fact that they think they did something wrong was because they got called out for it on the internet and it was going to start affecting their livelihood. And I guess that there's no way I could prove to you that that's not what I'm doing.
Yes, you can actually. I have a perfect way.
Okay.
The money that you've made from this tour and the videos on this tour.
Give it away to the blacks.
Give it to those creators who were affected by Z, or any creators on the tour as well that need to be reimbursed.
So overall, to this point in time, I have net loss income over the tour. But I'm like still okay with having that conversation. I just want to make it incredibly clear that I've net loss income over the tour. But
I'm not asking. I'm not forcing you to do this. I'm just saying that's something.
I'm just saying that would be really strong.
We could have a follow-up conversation about that, because I mean, I still don't mind having that conversation. I think that that's a good thing to do. I think that's a great idea. If you want to talk further about that, that's something we could do.
Warning.
Fantastic. I have a couple more ideas that I think you could be doing better with your platform.
Health warning.
Okay. I do see that there.
In terms of platforming voices,
I do see that there's somebody else on the tour, Simple Black Theory, that has been requesting to come up on the live and specifically talk to you. Is it okay if I bring them up, Peyton?
I can't talk to Haji in public yet. I have to talk to him personally.
Okay, so you'd prefer to talk to him personally?
You can bring him up though.
Okay, it's up to you.
That's all I'm saying. I have to go anyway.
Okay. Well, he's been requesting to come up. I just want to make sure that it's okay with you, because you did, of course, come up here for a one-on-one conversation. I just want to ensure that that is okay with you if I add him. I don't want to like.
If he's come, yes, I want you to add him, but I have to go because I have to talk to him personally.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you have to go, then it may be better just to like not add him, because like I'm just gonna be obvious. Like obviously, what's gonna happen is like a conversation is gonna begin between you and Simple Black Theory, and it'll likely like keep you on the live longer than you.
I will not be speaking with Ohaji. I'm sorry, Ohaji.
Yo.
There's a lot more stuff that we still got to talk about, like interpersonally.
That sounds great.
That I can't. But I'm happy to listen. I'm happy to stay here and listen.
That's fair. Here's what I want to say.
This place looks like a death
There was
trap.
at
There's no
least
way I'm
10
going
plus
there.
black creators that came on that tour that were actually there in Texas A&M. And I can sit here and say that I promise that you didn't talk to all 10, if not half of those creators.
I talked to 3 creators, yes.
3 out of 10. And one of which was me. And I told you should have spoken to all of them. I even took the time to explain to you that the situation I had is a lot deeper. And in that message, you told me that the people that you were protecting, you didn't even know. So to sit here and to hear all these things, I feel like it's totally unfair.
Lonerbox, India attacked Pakistan and Pakistan attacked back. That's great, AG. That's a lot of words, none of which are accountable. Sit the fuck down. Listen to these voices, okay? Stop being racist. Give me money. Know your fucking place. And be woke, okay? Jesus.
And when we have this discussion, you're gonna get a real mouthful, because what you did was so unfair. You not only did you put an idea amongst me, but other black creators. There's black creators that were on this trip that now has to protect their ideas because they were seen as they didn't want to protect themselves, that they didn't seem less than. We were called DEI hires because of your video, and I feel like that was so unfair because you took the time to talk about the black creators there, but didn't take the time to talk to all of us.
May I respond?
Health warning.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair at all to put on me in a video where I am simply calling out the behavior of one individual on the tour, where I multiple times say, I have an issue with a singular individual. This does not reflect the Unfuck America tour. I have an issue with one person who did this thing last night that was horrible.
And I had no problem
at the end of that video, I then said, my opinions are my opinions alone. Any creators that are going on this tour, I have nothing to do with them. I'm friends with a lot of them. I hope they have a great time. I'm going to be like literally like.
Yes, but look, I didn't disagree with that video. I even said, listen, I didn't think you said anything crazy in that video. And then you make that second video, and I wasn't even notified. That second video was with the real problem that I have. Was that second video? That second video put the understanding as if these black creators was treated as such, while you did not know in the background that these black creators was working on stuff, was actually trying to remedy certain stuff, but it couldn't be remedied because we have someone out here trying to expose stuff without having the full things. If I asked you, who are the 3 people that you were talking to? Are you able to give me those 3 creators?
Yes.
Who are
personally?
Personally? Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But
currently, right now, Z is trying to find who else was giving me information, and I just can't give that up here.
That's fair. I just felt like, honestly felt like what you did was exactly what you're adamant about, and it's the white savior complex. Honestly, I wanted to talk to you in a deeper understanding of this was because I even came here and sat there that the people in that panel had every right to say the things that they wanted to say, and Z was wrong. But at the same time, the people that were in that panel had some malicious intent. They said some things that were wrong. They inflated some things that were unfair and made us feel like garbage.
Absolutely. And again, I am not talking about those. I need to reiterate this for everyone here. I am not here defending anything those black women said on that live.
But you're protecting them.
I'm not protecting them.
That's what you said.
Okay, standing up against racism, Mohaji, is not the same thing as protecting a bad person. She was being racist towards them, and I called out this person I was professionally linked to for doing that. That is it. And yes, I found out that they were treating black creators differently on this trip. And regardless, that's not okay.
Well, we ever find out what was said? Well, we watched back a good bit of it. Because it's not that long, but yeah, we saw what was said. Not like that's the thing. Nothing was said really. Fuck all was said. Is what it is. Okay, I don't need this quest. Churro Bandit, thanks for the $9.99. Hey Lorna, did you ever have experienced something happen like that, not being woke enough? Have I ever experienced being not woke enough? Churro Bandit, how long have you been me? Have I ever experienced not being woke enough? Is that like a, do you know who you're talking to? What the fuck? Are you like a new viewer? Do you have any fucking idea? I guess you might be. Shit. Yeah, listen, I've dabbled, okay? Let's just say, mate, I'm insulted. I'm a viewer of me. That guy who watches me even asked that question. What the fuck? Mate, I have not more than once, okay? This doesn't happen very often, but not more than once, which is too many times. It's like, I don't really keep that many close friends. I keep like 3, 4, 5. And the rest are just like, you know, people I'll hang out with for a bit and then I'll stop talking for a bit and then we'll hang out again. It just kind of fizzles and they get busy, you know? I don't really keep regular contact with that many people. But there have been people who you know, I'll be chatting to them for a while. We got on quite well. And then maybe like, we go quiet for 6 months, then we'll say hello again. It's all good. There have been more than once in my life, people have kind of just like disappeared forever, like from talking to me. And I only end up finding out from other people much later on that it was because because of my politics. It was because, and usually, this happened twice or 3 times now. Twice. Usually it's because they heard stuff about me from someone else. And it's like, these people who like, I actually considered like friends. You know, one person I actually even met before I started YouTube. So they knew me quite well. Yeah. And I was like, so you just watched a video talking about me, but you didn't even think to message me and ask what was going on or like ask what it meant or like give me a chance to defend myself. They just disappeared. I was like, fucking hell, man. Like, but you know, some people are just kind of retarded. I don't know what to say. You think you know a guy, you'll always have chat. I mean, it's never happened to anyone that I've been like especially close to, but yeah, still, it's a bit disheartening to know that like some people are just like that. Like it's quite sad, but you know, if it makes them happy, like whatever. It's normal for that to happen over time and over politics from about. Yeah, it's like the fact that they hear, it's like stuff that they hear from someone else as well. And also the fact that I tolerate so much fucking bullshit from people I know in real life, like with politics. Like, yeah, I don't think it makes them happy. I think it makes them feel some sense of like moral something, assurance. Anyway.
To find a way back is not okay. It should have happened from the beginning, especially because flights were getting booked 3 fucking days before. 3 days. Flights and hotels booked 3 days before.
I will say this. Like I've been on like a couple things like related to like boots on the ground in politics, and like I'd say that's like the industry norm. I think it's probably a bad industry norm that needs to be changed insofar as like booking flights, booking return flights. But that did apply to like everybody on the trip. Like for instance, like I don't think that my return flight was booked until like 3 days prior. Yeah, that's more so.
But I know personally of a person, like the person who was giving me a bunch of this stuff. Booked on Sunday, the Sunday before that Wednesday that you guys were at A&M. Booked on Sunday, and then told that that flight was canceled, I guess, or XYZ or whatever, and then the flight actually wasn't canceled, but it doesn't matter. They was booked on Sunday. So they were still booking flights and things for people who were involved with the tour on that day. Booking. I have the messages showing, hey, are you guys still going to book my flight today? Yeah, okay, cool, because I got to get to the next. Like,
I feel like the call for there is like probably like better management from like this pack and all packs.
Oh, this is a healer.
I don't know. I just feel like I've seen that. I see that a lot.
But that's the whole point. I feel like it's a little weird when you see that a lot, but it didn't happen for me. I was added late in the game. You know,
you didn't get a flight pay, and you had a car.
Yeah, they were booking me a flight, and then I asked them to get me a rental car, and then I asked them 2 days later to book it for 14 days instead of 3.
What's that?
Did you hear?
14 days instead of 3. Hey, listen. In summation, I think that like there's often times where flights will get booked late. I think that once again I got my return flight booked 2 days.
But these black creators didn't get their flights booked at all.
The thing is who's saying? I can sit here and say that the black creators was actually in the background talking about certain situations and how to make it better for the next thing. We didn't have to have a white creator step up here and try to talk for the black creators. I had no problem with the situation because I knew it was going to get fixed with the people I was talking with. So again, I just find it weird that I have a white man sitting here explaining to me that I need to be treated better, as if I didn't know that, as if I couldn't handle it myself.
I never said you couldn't.
Okay, but you didn't.
I never
know
said
that,
I was even
though.
speaking about
But you didn't know that though. You, instead of coming to talk to people about it, you did it on your own. You're Batman. You're Batman for the black community.
The only thing I did in that video was present facts, and you guys are pissed about it for some reason. Again, I'm sorry that this did affect the tour. I'm sorry that I didn't come to you. I'm sorry I did not come to you. The black creators.
Fuck talking, coming to me.
I said the black creators on the tour is when I man Ohio.
No. Name me 5 creators that was on this trip. Name me 5 of them. Name at least 3, except for
Conscious Lee, Americana Hannah, that fucking Dan.
Consciously not even a part of the tour. Consciously not even a part of the tour.
Fucking going, Erica.
Consciously not even a part of the tour.
Say again?
Consciously not a part of the tour. You don't know nothing about Santana talking about how much he's struggling through this shit. A mermaid, Erica, me, Chris. All these.
It's not my fault. She was racist, dog.
Can I say something?
I love it, and this is everyone who agrees that the Z person's racist. Like all these people think Z is racist and was doing microaggressions. The microaggressions that occurred during the event. They all know what she said. The unspecified things that she.
Okay, real quick, can I say something? So Peyton, I think that you're not understanding the point that is our problem, right? So you're saying that there were black creators that didn't get their flights until the 3 days before. There were black creators that you feel like weren't treated correctly. What does that have to do with you?
It's a.
And also, why do you keep coming up? No. Your second video, you started out the video. Please stop talking over me. Hey, please stop talking over me. Your second video was a video when you were going on there, you were talking about how black creators weren't being treated the same way. You were talking about how black creators didn't get flights and had to pay for everything, but you did not have a conversation with any of those black creators to give that actual information. You're just going off of whatever it is that you felt like, and then you wanted to come online when you at
Lol, Jura Bandit, thanks for the 999. Lol, just asking, I have been watching since the beginning of the year. Just wanted to know what you experience. Just wanted to know what you experience. I've dealt with the same thing of not being woke enough. I mean, in real life, it's only been a recent thing. It's only with like 2 people, really. Neither of them I was particularly close to. Back in the day, online, there was the fucking trans genocide shit where I lost a whole bunch of fucking connections and goodwill from people. But like that was just online. Like even my trans friends in real life, just like they watched all of that and they just thought it was like fucking hilarious. But yeah, Other than that, just like, I guess the fucking Free Palestine stuff, like that crowd, like the, again, who are not Free Palestine crowd, they're like pro-Axis, but you know, yeah. How many people have you lost over the Gaza genocide? Again, like the two people that I've lost as friends in real life are people who just got sucked down the fucking, like, it's weird because I stayed friends with them when I saw that they'd made pro-October 7th tweets, you know, like those kinds of people, yeah. But, no, for me, it was like the last straw, I think. I guess they saw Hassan talking about me once, and they were like, oh no. Yeah. Other than that, we good. If anything, it's just like, I feel like some events like that are kind of good because they're good for, like, cutting people off. Like, they're a good litmus test for getting, like, toxic characters out of your life. So that's always nice. Even if it happens in a shitty way. Were you saying there wasn't a trans genocide? Yeah. In like 2022, 23, yeah. Have you lost a lot of Israeli viewers? Man, like every other fucking day I get like, regardless of what I say, like there's always one or two angry Israelis or fucking Arabs in my, fucking Arabs, sorry, that's racist apparently. In my DMs, yeah, that's like every stream. There's something like that, yeah. People taking me to task. But I can usually tell the kind of good faith from the bad these days. Mega Airhead, thanks for the $5. I know this drama is important, but just a heads up, India launched a missile attack against Pakistan, and Pakistan says that they will retaliate. Yeah? Were there any microaggressions, though? Because otherwise, that's just a waste of $5. Did India accuse Pakistan of being uppity? Of yelling? They didn't even say uppity, to be fair. Like that. That would have probably been, that would have given them a leg to stand on. Listen, no one cares about macroaggressions. What was it that Malcolm X said? The Klansman's fine, you know, because we can see them in the open. But the liberal fox, that's much more insidious, right? Which basically means that this guy is much more of an issue than India or Pakistan right now.
At this point, we're not even a part of the tour anymore because you left. I wish you would stop saying that you got kicked out. In your first video,
leave. I got kicked off.
In your first video, you said yourself that
I'm
you
going to Texas
wanted
A&M
to
and
leave.
invite all of your black friends.
You said yourself that you did not want to be a part of this tour anymore, Peyton.
If she was a part of the tour, yes.
Okay, so then did you get kicked off or did you leave?
Yes, they called me. It's in my video. They called me.
So you
to
made the
inform me I
video
was getting
first, and
kicked
then
off.
they told you that you were getting kicked off because you made a video where you said
So you just said I was
that you did not want to go, right? Okay.
You just said I got kicked off.
Peyton, stop interrupting her, bro. Stop interrupting her.
Please. It's very annoying. Like, the thing about it is, at the end of the day, nobody needs you. I especially, and I'm pretty sure the other black people on this tour, we did not need you to speak up for us because I am loud enough on my fucking own. I don't need you to say, oh, the black creators didn't get what they were supposed to. Oh, the black creators weren't treated that way because you did not talk to the black creators. You talked to the few that you wanted to, and then you went and made your own narrative about it, and you were so happy that your video made 1 million views. Nobody over here on this side actually cares about views. We care about the mission that we had. You came up here and spoke about your 1 million views to me. That's not the problem. The problem is, hey, shut up, stop speaking over me. The problem is, stop.
Albatross Commando, thanks for the 15 shekels. Any Israeli that has an issue with such controversial takes as starving people bad, ethnic cleansing bad, and settlements bad are not serious. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I also kind of, like, have said many times that I wouldn't care if settlers got fucking, like, paraglided on, but, you know. I get what you're saying. You know, people be molding.
Trying to speak for black creators when you do not know what is actually going on with the black creators. That's it, and that's simple. What Ohazi said as you being a white savior is exactly what it is. Nobody over here, I don't ever need a savior because I'm always be the problem. Okay? In this society, I don't ever need a savior because I will always be the problem. Okay? So I need for you, that's all I...
Does Dean love it because he thinks she's spitting? Is that what he's doing? Okay.
For you to do is to stop speaking for black creators if you did not at least have the decency to have a conversation with us. That's just it.
Queen.
Can I speak now?
Yes.
Fantastic. I was approached to make those videos by black creators who did not feel their voices were getting heard.
Well, then who? Because I haven't heard that from any of them.
The creators on those lives, and again, I will tell you who.
You're talking about the people on the lives, and I understand they are allowed to express their opinions. I am talking about
the last important clip of this drama. There's more. There's more. Struggle session during the Cultural Revolution.
造反有理，革命无罪。叶哲泰，面对广大革命群众，你老实交代，你是不是精通各种？
你曾经是我的学生，你应该很清楚。
老实点儿。叶哲泰，在基础课上，你是否擅自加入大量相对论的内容？
相对论已经成为物理学的古典理论，基础课怎么能不涉及它呢？
你胡说！爱因斯坦他有奶便是娘，抛弃完美帝国主义造原子弹，把他妻子是人民的物理学家。
叶哲泰，我现在已经彻底的醒悟了。我在革命小将的帮助下，我选择站在人民的一边。
打倒反动神授权威叶哲泰，打倒一切反动神授权威，造反有理，革命无罪。
Good shit. Accountability.
The people who you went on your second video and said weren't getting treated the right way that were on the tour. Stay on topic.
I guess I'm confused. Like, what? I guess what? Wait, what?
Okay, Dean. I think I've said enough.
Actually, I did not catch what I did wrong. I'm sorry. Just please.
Okay, then you may never get it.
So like Paige, in a nutshell, like I believe what Mermaid is essentially saying, is you went on to like make a second video, like predicated on the experience of the Black creators on the trip, right? And you did so.
I actually think that's wrong.
Paige, will you just allow me to?
No, because that's wrong. I made the video, right? And I know me, right? That's what you said.
You made
right?
a video about trip insofar as some not being covered for their travel or like a plane being booked late. That was the premise of the video. But I would like to clarify, right? Essentially, all that she's saying, right, is that you made a video, right, about the experiences of Black creators on the trip without asking the Black creators on their trip for their experiences. Do you get it now?
Oh, can I talk now? Sorry, I didn't know you muted me. Yes, it wasn't the point of the video. That's a 2-minute snippet of that 15-minute video where I'm talking about the behavior of the people on the tour and how they treated me. And yes, I did add in the section because while I was making the video, I was reached out to. I did add in the section about the creators who were not properly paid for this trip as I was. But the video was about my treatment from the unprofessional people within the organization, not just Z, Brandon, and other creators who were lying blatantly to try to cover Z's ass.
So is your argument essentially that you didn't talk about the Black creators' experiences without asking them?
No, I said it was added in.
It doesn't really matter.
I said it was.
I mean, because listen, man. The point of the space that I'm hosting right now is like just simply for transparent discussion. Okay, that's why I brought you up here, and that's why I had a conversation with you, and now that's why Mermaid is up here right now as well, because I want to make sure that Mermaid has the ability to say what she wants to say. But I don't really think that you're responding to what Mermaid is saying.
I just did. I was reached out to. While I was editing that video, while we were making that video, I was reached out to, and I had to add that section because I was reached out to about it. Anonymously. Anonymously means I cannot give up their names. Guys, I'm very sorry. That's just how it fucking works, okay? But there are people who feel antagonized against on this tour by Z, which again, I have screenshots. I can prove it if you want.
But like, I guess like do you like the bare minimum like understand the perspective of?
Oh, I absolutely understand the perspective. I think it's an obtuse
one second. You think it's obtuse for Mermaid to just simply request that before you tokenize her in a video, you talk to her first?
I didn't tokenize her. I wasn't speaking about her. Again,
I'm not gonna lie,
Who was
man.
you speaking about? So there was about 10 Black creators that were on the tour. Me, Erica, Becca were the 3 Black women, and there was about seven Black men that were on the tour. Who were you speaking about? Because I've had a conversation with all of them. We've all talked. And we haven't talked with you because you have not been on the tour since you made your video stating that you wanted to leave.
Again, I think you have to rewatch the video because I didn't. Like, I was still on the tour until I got called and kicked off for calling someone racist.
Did you not, in your video, did you not say that, yeah, you were going to Texas, but you're not going to be a part of the tour. You're not going to be a part of anything that has to do with the tour. And if people want to come out and see
until
you,
they got this racist out because I thought it would take 2 fucking seconds for Dean Withers to be like,
don't you think that after that, so don't you think that after you already making a video as to which you were saying that you do not want to be a part of the tour, then you would be a part of the tour?
I assumed she would be kicked off, yeah. So I apologize for that, yes. But you can tell by the phone call, Brandon called me to kick me off the tour. Why? I don't see why this is like such a big, like...
Hey, let's go.
You guys did not.
Listen, I just want to. First, I just want to.
We're not cutting people off, right?
I know. I just want to add on a comment here real quick.
You know what? Go ahead, for sure.
I just got a little upset there because you said that Mermaid was being obtuse, right? And I demonstrated my upsetness. I just wanted to apologize.
Okay, man.
Why are you laughing?
Because that's just like an insane, like. Anyway,
I don't like nervous laughter.
It's not nervous, but I appreciate you.
Okay. So can you apologize for speaking for the Black people on the tour without speaking to the Black people on the tour?
Yeah.
I spoke to Black people on the tour, but if you felt like I was mentioning you, because obviously I didn't mention any names, I am sorry. I did not. I would never want to make it seem like I was speaking for Black people who could not speak for themselves.
I mean, I'd like to add in here, I guess, real quick, as it relates to this topic specifically. I'm unaware, right, of any Black creator that was brought along on the tour that had to pay their own way.
That's phenomenal, Dean. You wouldn't be. You're not the organizer, right? That's why you reached out to me.
So that's why I reached out to you, and then you didn't tell me. So then I reached out
There's
individually.
probably a reason why they're not telling you, bud.
I don't think that you understand what's actually been happening with him. So that's why we kind of don't understand why you have so much of a say-so, because you don't really know.
Listen, at the end of the day, here's the facts.
Facts. Oh, come on. When are we getting the end of this? Thank God. 6 more minutes.
Okay.
And I feel like you've been fighting me pretty hard in making that discovery. You know,
I actually told you that I would DM you privately so that you could reimburse them, didn't I? Earlier than live.
Okay. Is it possible that you may do that when you leave? Because that'd be great. That'd be great.
I thought that's what we already talked about.
Cool. I would really appreciate it if you do that, Peyton. Mermaid, is there anything else that you'd like to go over?
No, Dean, thank you so much for letting me come up and use my voice. Thank you to everybody who gifted me. And I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Sunday. That was it for me. Thank you.
I appreciate you for joining, Mermaid. And Peyton, that was definitely a conversation. It was a dialogue. I'm now going to remove you from the live.
Careful.
Maybe one last thing before I do remove you from the live is, I don't want that very important conversation that was just held in this space to detract from the fact that I seriously do think I engaged in actions that were wrong, and I wish I would have done better for the reasons that I've already listed, and I promise to do better in the future for the viewership, specifically as it would relate to my apologies to specifically members of the BIPOC community. Now, everybody, I guess I'm gonna go to an end for the day. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, feel free to throw them in my Discord. I really do think that transparent conversation is really important. It makes
Sans reacting to content you can justify in Crimea. Really? Almost as if that nothing's changed. Good-o. Thank you.
It makes myself become a better person. I think that constructive criticism.
We care about the ethnic cleansing of Muslims and the persecution of them. Unless it's being done by an adversary of the West. Let's go! What can the Houthis do other than kidnap Filipinos? Well, they could take care of their own people, couldn't they? No. Oh, God.
Always and will always be welcomed with very open arms. And even in situations where I'm uncomfortable. In fact, it should be the most present in situations where I'm uncomfortable.
Yes, whites should be uncomfortable. Otherwise, it's not a serious discussion. Yes, I learned that on this stream.
Peyton, please do DM me the information about the creators that had to pay their own way. I was serious when I texted you in private, and serious when I'm saying this public. I think that is unfair. If that happened, I think that's unfair, and I want to make sure that that is taken care of. Very unfair. Now, for the 10.6 thousand people in here, wow, what should we do? Should I end for the night? Should I cooking with Dean, do some debates? I don't know. Should we do debates? I don't know. I don't know. Am I in the mood? I don't know if I'm in the mood. I don't know if I'm in the mood for debates. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe we should just come back tomorrow. Maybe I should go get some dinner with my girlfriend. And honestly, I think that I need to take time to reflect on the things that were said on live.
Yeah, you do. No,
you know what I mean?
Place, son.
Let's just be frank. Let's be honest. Right now, a lot of my attention is on you guys, the chat, the live stream. I think for me to, kind of process everything that was said, everything that was shared, and everything that I said as well in a more genuine, meaningful manner. I should probably just not do debates today and go get some food. But I'm going to go ahead and end. I would like to appreciate and thank everybody so much for joining in the stream today. And I'm going to do something interesting here. Even the people that came in here, you know, to like see conversations unfold with individuals who have made, you know, who have critiqued me. I want to thank you as well. Just want to thank everybody. What I really want at the end of the day is just a space where free, transparent conversation could be held between rational people who are not only willing to call out when other individuals fuck up, but also willing to hold themselves accountable when they do. See you tomorrow. Peace, love, goodbye.
Wow. That was an incredible level of brain damage. Holy fuck. Okay, good.